You know?
So it's been, I mean, that's been tough,
Yeah.
honestly.
My friends they're just like, their first impression already is like, oh, this girl is dating a guy that we know. Apparently they hung out like the Friday before she left on Sunday. And apparently the guy's like still texting her and trying to see her and stuff. And he lives in the freaking building that we moved into. Like, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Bert 91. Yes, we're giving you guys a live. We're talking about Love is Blind. I know a lot of you keep on saying that this is a snooze fest. It wasn't so great. Love is bland. You know, it's full of non-diversity. I absolutely love it. You know why? Because you finally get to see how it is with the other side of the fence. And they are just as mad as we are. Okay, all right. If your only reason why you don't find the show interesting is because you ain't seeing black people do dysfunctional stuff, I need you to get off your high horse and enjoy the show. Okay, all right. The show is enjoyable. It just doesn't have black people in it that create the crazy drama that we usually create. Okay, every season we get an SK. Every season we get this person who's an evil villain, right? And after the show, you all get to tear into a black man or into a black woman and say how bad and great they are. Usually it's a black man, but you know how bad they are and how evil villain. And today it's not about us. Yeah, it's not about the black man that is usually the one who's misbehaving and mistreating black women. No, you get to see how it is on the other side. And you get to see how both men and women are manipulative and crazy. We got a whole conversation to talk about today. Okay? All right? Because first and foremost, we have Ben and Sarah. Okay, we have Ben and Sarah who, by all means, I'm so sorry. Someone's texting you from your ex-past, all of a sudden you blocking them because you don't know what they're going to say? I said, oh, no, sorry, Mr. Ben. It sounds like you may be lying about a few things here. Okay, all right. Plus, we heard some things on the streets that this guy is just here for the TV. He been giving out his YouTube card, apparently, according to story Ricky time. He's been giving out his YouTube card. I ain't think anything wrong with that. Listen, if you're here for business, you're here for business. I get it. But again, once more, he isn't here for any serious reason, right? He isn't here for any serious reason. And see, I'm going to be a little bit cheeky. If this was a black man who wasn't here for any good reason apart from just to be on TV, y'all will be out here talking about how trash he is. This is why we can't trust black men. That every time this is a person who represents how black men are in dating. We've got a white man doing this, and y'all are saying it's boring. It tells me that we like to see certain tropes and stereotypes of people on our TV screen. Because let me tell you something, it was interesting. This guy's out here manipulating and lying. He out here blocking his phone, and you know you got some ex-girlfriend or ex-girl that you haven't talked to, but suddenly want to pop up after 2 months. Okay. 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 All right, listen. So, That was that. Then we also had another couple. We had Danielle and Taylor. I really like them, you know, because listen, Taylor had a moment. She spun out. Okay, Taylor spun out. She spun all the way out. And I know some people are making some excuses like, you know, she must have definitely saw him because she was real specific. Baby, you was wrong. Like, just accept it. Like, people are out here defending Taylor. It's not like she's an evil person. Just admit she's wrong. Okay? Some of you, I think you're seeing yourself in Taylor and crashing out on your mans because there was no need to defend it because she wasn't being evil. She just had a moment where she was crashing out. And it's okay. She was spiraling. She had an anxious moment where she thought she saw something, right? And went all the way down the loophole and accused him before she actually did her own. She could have researched this before she accused him, you know? She could have actually asked the producer for her phone and made sure first before crashing out. She didn't want to crash out. She just wanted to crash out straight. I said, oh, no. Oh, no. But shout out to Daniel. He handled it very, very well. You know, and I love the way he spoke to her in her moments, gave her the assurance and everything as well. You know what I'm saying too? So shout out to them as well. I like that. Because that was a little bit scary. I can't lie to you. They were leaning towards like he was a serial killer. And he does look a little bit like one. But anyway, then we had obviously Joey and Monica. We need to talk about them. Because we need to talk about the fact that, listen, how we sharing socks in 2025 is crazy work. Let me tell you this why it's crazy work. Because we don't need to do what we used to do when we're in poverty and in shackles, okay? These people are acting like they're in slavery and they are having to share socks and put them into a basket so they can actually, you know, survive life. No, this is a whole household with socks. Yeah, I can't do it. Nah, your foot can't be in my sock like that. I'm sorry. I grew up in a house where everybody had their own socks. Even if you had one pair of socks, it was still your one pair of socks. Even in Africa back home, we have one pair. You have that one pair of sock. You wash that sock, you clean that sock, and you make sure that sock is clean, but it's your sock. You know what I'm saying too? Yeah? Poor Joey said he heard a story about the spiders and he wanted to run away. That boy's OCD was kicking up a storm. Brother looked at the fireplace and said it's off balance. I can't lie to you, it was off balance. I don't know who did the fireplace, but why is the fireplace not central? I have no clue. It's leaning to the left. It makes no sense. I don't know who did it. Don't know who saw it. They need help. So yeah, Joey and Monica, we got to talk about the fact that the sister's a hater and she is jealous. I'm sorry, that was not how you question somebody to ask them if they're making the right choice. It's given hater. I thought I was meant to be married before you. Get the frick out of here, hater. Okay, you don't have to keep people around like that around you. You know, they'll destroy your life. Okay, they'll destroy your life. They'll destroy your life. Okay, yeah, okay. And then we also had Devin and Virginia. Shout out to them. They had a real conversation. I have to be honest with them. They had a real conversation about prenuptials. You know, look, prenupt is a good thing, okay? In this instance, I think it's a great thing. I think a prenupt is necessary because I don't know who the heck you are. And whilst I'm trusting you, just in case this doesn't go right, at the end of the year, everyone leaves with what they got. Okay, now I know old boy was feeling a little bit some type of way because he probably felt to himself like, hey, it feels a bit transactional, it feels like you're gonna leave me, it feels like you're just ready to bounce whenever you're ready to bounce. Plus, she's a really beautiful woman, so he might have thought to himself that she only doing this because she wants to leave him. I get it, bro, but actually, it's a really sensible thing. You don't know her, she don't know you. You got assets, she got assets. Like she said, you might have a basketball empire. You know what I'm saying? You believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. When that basketball empire kicks up, just know that you'll be thankful for that prenup, even though she probably still be entitled to the basketball empire because if she helped you build it, she'll still be entitled. Anyway, but then obviously that was essential. Then obviously we had I think the main source of this show that was kicking off so far, and it was indeed Dave and Lauren. You know, Lauren's situation with a F buddy, an FWB buddy. The real question we have to ask about Dave and Lauren is, who's lying? Is Dave lying about his family, telling him that this people, you know, the situation is that, you know, that people keep telling him that this thing with this gentleman is false? Is Dave lying? Is he lying? That's a real question. Is Dave lying about the fact his family, his sister and his friends are telling him about these situations? My only gripe with him is that, you know, there's not been any conversation between the sister or the friends with Lauren, at least to kind of hear their side of the story. You know, that's the only thing I'm a little bit concerned with, that I'm saying that I'm leaving myself open that you could be a goddamn liar. You know what I'm saying, Chu? Right? But the other side is that I do feel that Lauren has said some things that have made me question whether she did the thing or not. I can't lie. Okay, sis? Was it 48 hours or not? Did you see him or did you not? Okay, but we just forgetting that we didn't have a conversation, but we had a conversation. Did you see him or did you not see him? Did he text you a week ago or did he not? You know what I'm saying, Chu? Did he text you or not? You know what I'm saying? We have to have a real conversation. Did they text you or not? Huh? There's something about this that's giving both of them are probably lying in some aspects. You know what I'm saying, Chu? And we moving into the building that this man is in as well. We moving into the building that he's in as well. I said, oh no. It's looking a bit tight. It's looking a bit tapped. Now the question is, some people might not complain. Is it a problem to have a FWB 48 hours before the show? If that's Dave's complaint, I don't really hear it, but it's because I think he knows them as well. But you know what? For me personally, if I know, it's gonna be a little bit awkward if you kind of know the person, who they're around and stuff like that, and you might meet them and stuff. So I can understand how that can be a little bit concerning. You know what I'm saying, Chu? I can understand. You know, so that does, yeah. You know what I mean? And so anybody can lie. And if you know anything about men or women, trust me and believe me, tears does not mean that person did not lie to you. And because if you've been the man on the other side, doing that to someone else's girl, somebody else's person, you know they can go back within 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours and be like, nothing happened. So 48 hours is light work. So when I was looking at it, I said, sis, all those tears don't mean nothing. And your friends talking about it didn't really mean much. I said, get the frick out of here. Yeah, I'm not about that life. So anyway, we're gonna have that discussion. I'm sure people are gonna have their opinions and their thoughts. We're gonna start strong. We're gonna start with Dave and we're gonna start with Lauren because I think it's worth starting off strong because we're gonna have I'm sure we'll have a lengthy conversation about that situation. So I want to know what the panel's thoughts are about that as well. So listen, if you're here and you're around, listen, make sure you're joining the panel, and also don't forget as well that we're gonna go to members only in here as well. Okay, we about to go members in here in this chat. So if you haven't joined the membership, make sure you do. There's a dollar sign underneath the chat. Click on it, become a part of the membership. Okay, become part of the membership. It's £1 we've made it cheap so you can also enjoy the festivities of the family as well and join in the conversation. Okay, let me bring on my panelists, and I know a lot of few other people will come in as well as we go. Let me bring in El Cid and Easton, who I know are going to start off real strong and give us some good energy around this particular topic today. Okay, all right. So we're gonna chop this up and have a good time. Okay, we're gonna chop this up and have a good time. All right, cool. Let me play a little clip and then we're gonna get into this conversation because we need to have a conversation. All right.
Sounds like it was some miscommunication maybe, or just some like non-communication on her part, where like she thought it was over but like didn't end it. He thought they were still together. Maybe the guy is exaggerating.
Whew. Okay, Dave and Lauren. Their situation. I already know it's gonna go cool on this situation. I want to know your perspective, your thoughts. What is going on here? How did you guys read this Dave and Lauren situation? First and foremost, I want to ask this question: who's lying to you? Is it Dave? Is it Lauren? Who is lying to you? Is it Dave? Is it Lauren? Who would like to open it up for us and dive straight in for here? Who's lying, Dave or Lauren? Who would like to open up? I know Easton look like he's ready to go. Yes, Easton, go for it.
Oh, I was gonna let LC go, but for this one, she has the next one. Both of them are lying, but David has a lion's share of the lying. He is still extremely in that. I guess he doesn't seem like he's attracted to her. He seems very superficial. He seems a little fake. He's looking at her, and I won't say he has that like disgust kind of look with him, and so he doesn't particularly find her attractive, and that's what is causing him to exasperate this lying fiasco. Although Lauren is lying to the magnitude of that relationship, in the length, and even if they still have access, I find it interesting because Dave did know that homeboy is staying at the same apartments. Like he has some information that makes you wonder, like, like there must be some merit to it, but he's looking for a reason why to kind of bow out of this thing, and he's going to lean on that a lot. Now, on the flip side, Lauren is extremely thirsty and desperate for this relationship to work. And so this is why things are going the way that they are going. I also want to highlight, I do believe that Dave is trying to punish her for not hooking up with him the first night or even over the honeymoon. Hence the reason why he's asking all the other couples. And he's like, well, why is somebody who I would consider beneath me not giving up the goods? And so now he's going to, I guess he's going to, again, push or magnify any little segment that he can with her. So I think both of them are lying. I think Lauren probably did, even if it's not the day before, even if it was a couple weeks or a month before, it is kind of a big step to go from having a friends with benefits to now being ready for marriage. So I do think that she's lying in that capacity, but I also can say that Dave is trying to push out or trying to extend his lack of attraction to her by using this as an excuse.
Kojo.
Oh, Sid. Yeah.
Jay.
Where is she? Oh, do you know what? I didn't know that was Jay. I'm seeing her name with Easton's name in it. So I'm like, what? Who is that? I thought it was just Easton's thing. Sorry.
Because we coming for Easton tonight. Because we coming.
Oh, Lord.
You see, she has Kendrick there, and I'm wearing mustard color. We're coming for Easton tonight. So, Easton, you in the crosshairs. But that's okay. You can handle it. You can handle it. I believe in you.
Oh, Lord.
Okay?
I got my excuses already built in. I'm ready.
Okay, as long as it's built in and not built in like the drawers outside of David's dresser, TV stand, you good. Who's lying? I don't know. I don't know who's lying, but you know what? I can sympathize on Dave's section of things. Sure, Lauren, your body, your choice. You know, we all have friends. Some friends come with additional benefits. 48 hours before you are intentionally going to meet up with someone, that's the question. And that's what Mr. El Cid and I were talking about is like, when is an appropriate timeline? When is it? Is it when you get your letter saying you're accepted as a cast member on the show? Because you know you're about to possibly be somebody's fiance and wife or husband? When do people kind of start saying, hey, let me no longer put mileage on this? And let me kind of like wait for the show. Or are they going like, I don't know if I'm going to meet somebody. I don't know if I'm going to meet somebody. So I'm going to just keep doing me. I don't know. But I think Dave was looking for an excuse to run. And I think he's trying to run without seeming problematic. But David, we see your problems. And going around that night asking, hey, how far you get with your fiance? How far you got with yours? That was problematic, David. Ooh, even without knowing Lauren's issue, because by this time you don't have the phone, you don't know what's going on in the city, you still being problematic, David. I'm just saying the awkwardness on that trip was in full sight. Was in full sight.
Thank you very much. Jay, talk to me. Who's lying?
I don't know where the lie is about. I mean, if she told the man that she's seen somebody, the friends is lying. Her trash friends is lying. They need to be quiet. That's who's sitting here trying to lie for her. But outside of it, he just need to be honest that he ain't getting the cooch, so he mad, and he want out this situation, and she needed to just go on and be truthful that you had your last hoorah, like we be seeing in the little comedy movies or the little movies with them people that they always go and get their little thing before the wedding day anyway. So she was getting her last hoorah on real quick and stuff. But I'm going to tell you this much. She lying about that damn wax. She lying about that wax. Okay. 48 hours later and you still can't get that man none. And she lying about taking time to be emotionally involved before she give you some, because clearly by what the friends had said, that wasn't a real situation. That was a little hookup thingy thing. So you ain't got to be emotionally attached for a little hookup thing or whatnot. So the friends didn't help. I'm like, yo, your friends need to be quiet until you tell your friends the whole daggone story. because now they throwing you all under the bus, not knowing, thinking they helping. Talking about, no, that was nothing. He was dating somebody else and whatever. So that means your friend is a little pro. And now David really mad because he like, I done did all this for this woman and these daggone days sitting in this pod and I still can't get none. And she just threw it at some random dude with a girl. Like, all right. So Lauren just need to go ahead and bow out gracefully of this one and just, take her L. And David just needs to stop trying to find reasons or whatever of why he can't talk to her because he feels some type of way that his sister now knows. How'd your sister know, David? How'd your sister know? Let's find that part out. How she know before everybody else?
Thank you. Dahlia, who's lying?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
We hear you.
Great. Okay. So before I even get to that, can we just acknowledge that it's weird that apparently everybody in Minneapolis knows each other to such a degree that they know who each other is sleeping with. Like, okay, in Houston, all the Black people know each other. I will admit that. If you have lived in a community for longer than like 10 years, there is 7 degrees of separation. But this is ridiculous. Like, I don't understand how people are getting a say in my relationship to that extent that you know who I'm sleeping with and you feel like you got the audacity to have a say in the matter. That to me is weird. Having said all that, I think Lauren's the liar. I don't think Dave is lying about this. I do think, however, I think he's lying about his sister. I think he's using his sister as an excuse to back away from her, and Lauren can't take a hint to save her life. So now he's trying to use her for his benefit situation to back off for her. It doesn't make any sense because we already know that Dave is a hoe. So it's like you have no excuse to be mad at her for what she's doing when you admit it off rip. You are a whore. So I don't understand, like, why are you giving her grief about it unless it's just some misogyny type deal. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yes. Who'd like to add on this? I mean, obviously, Dave, we know that Dave obviously, spoke to Lauren about the situation and, broke down his perspective and, talks about how he felt like, he just didn't understand how she could not take it seriously. But yes, I would love to hear some more thoughts. Yes, you were going to say something else, Sid.
My question is, okay, you met someone on Hinge and they become your friends with benefits and y'all have, I guess, 2 months. How come you got to make the fiance wait forever? Why he got to wait longer than a week?
Bingo. Yep. Because
here's my question. He got on a knee. He got on a knee. You got a ring on your finger. Okay. So why are we putting David under probation heavier than the Hinge date? That's just my question.
Why is David putting himself under probation by agreeing with her, talking about, yes, it takes me a while to be emotional too, so I can't. But meanwhile, rubbing her up and down, trying to sauce her up like some daggone butter rolls.
Because
like, what are you doing?
A TV show, Jay. You can't do that. You can't. We already saw how Ramses got drug behind the cows because he was
exactly, and he's still petting her. Easton, that's what I'm saying. He's still doing the same thing Ramses was doing. He's still petting her.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was. Remember when they remember that scene in the bed, and he's sitting here just rubbing her arms up and down, and she looking like, "Please get off of me."
Marissa gave up the cookies early. I'm saying that whenever the sex talk comes up, when you the guy, if you ain't all in agreement with the girl, you gonna be sent to the gulag. So I know what Dave was doing. He was trying to do an old player trick. He was like, all right, I'm agree with you. Yeah, let's get this emotional connection right. But in the back of his mind, he's like, wait, because in his mind, he thinks he's better than Lauren. He like, you a teacher? He thinking, he calculating in his head how much he make, who she been with. He like, dang, I ain't got the cookies yet. And he don't know anything about anybody else, but he's just thinking to himself like, I should at least be able to hit the first time we married, right? So that's what's going on in his head, and I think he's upset with that. So that's why I think he's trying to take it out on her now, is that he didn't get the hit when he thought he was supposed to.
Yeah, but he still look creepy. You agreeing with her, but you sitting here rubbing on her arms in the bed, passionately and all this stuff like that, like trying to woo her into sex while you over here like pressed up against her. Like, bro, stop.
But then why are we walking around him naked and he can't? I mean, we all around giving signals. We all around giving mixed signals.
Because they all lying. If you want the answer, Coach, on this answer, they all got a little lying problem.
Mm-hmm. I mean, old Easton, I would have been on the same wavelength as Dave. I was like, wait, we done got married. I didn't talk to you for I don't know how many hours in the pods, and we can't do nothing now. Something's up. But I really don't understand what Lauren's hesitation is, especially if she had some intimacy with somebody maybe months or however it may go. Again, it's your body, your choice. You can choose to do what you want, when you want, and how you want to. But I could slightly understand where Dave is coming from and why. But the issue is that there's a level of resentment that comes with that. And so I don't think that he should act on his resentment that particular type of way, because he's really stretching it out to make her feel bad for hooking up with this guy. Although I do know she is lying.
I can explain this easily. Here's what I think is happening in Lauren's brain, potentially. I think in her mind, she thinks that because this is going to be a real marriage for her, she wants it to last. She wants to make sure the emotional connection is good, which is why maybe she's backing off from like the sex part of it, because it means more to her. If it meant less to her, then she would be okay with doing that whole friends with benefits thing. I've heard people say this stuff, and you shaking your head, but some people, they be moving like that. It makes no sense to me, but they move like that.
I agree with you.
No sense.
Listen,
It don't make any sense, but I agree with you. That's why a lot of the nice guys be getting mad for going on the dates. I gotta pay. I gotta pay $100 date, but homeboy call you up at 2 a.m.
Listen,
I'm rocking with you.
Listen, y'all can rock on that BS if you want to. That is not what's going on in that lady head. She played a stupid game and she don't like the prize she got. That is all that is happening right now. Okay. That's what's happening. Because otherwise she'd have gave him something like she gave that man that she wasn't messing with, but she doubled back to give him some again before she left to go over here. That lady sat there and told him, I can't have sex with you for 48 hours, 24 hours, 3 to 5 days after a waxing. That's a whole daggone lie. Okay. I don't know where and what handbook that is in there. You can give your little hoo-ha a little break all you want, but they was at that resort for at least 3 days before they seen the other couples, before he started running around asking everybody else if they getting it on. So yeah, she don't want
putting down. Okay. Yeah, y'all making some sense, because I'm now putting 2 and 2 together. She was over here capping about that waxing. She was capping. I wasn't putting that together. Now I got it together. Oh yeah. Yeah, she was over here doing that. Oh, thank y'all for letting me see the light. I put it together now. I said, wait. Oh, she lied about the wax.
That has been played on you, and you believed it. That's what it sounded like.
Light bulb. Bing.
Jay, why you give him more information that he doesn't need to have a wrong opinion? Why?
I ain't give him more information. You know, Easton gonna take what he get regardless. He's gonna find something to match his stories. Child.
It's true. Gonna piece some evidence together like a jacked up CSI person.
Right, Sean, because if you see what he wrote in the chat for later on's discussion, it's fluff. And if he just sit here and say that out loud,
it's the truth.
We'll
talk about it. We'll talk about it.
We are.
I mean, listen, hey, look, I mean, for real, like with the Lauren and Dave situation, obviously, I think Dave obviously is overly reacting because I think he does want a little bit of sex. I think also at the same time, he is a bit of a superficial person, and I think he's also afraid. I think he's also a very fearful person too, right? So, like, he's almost rejecting her before she rejects him, because I think he also feel, and again, I'm not saying he's correct, by the way, I'm just saying, I feel like he's almost kind of reacting in a sense of, she's not giving it to me, and why is she not giving it to me, in a sense. Like, I think this is actually, I do kind of agree with what Dahlia was kind of saying, that nice guy effect, where we see it in Red Pill all the time. It's like, why am I paying for something that you've given up to someone? Do you know what I'm saying too? And it's a wrong way of thinking about the equation in that space. But obviously, as well, at the same time, I don't know if he actually fancies her like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I need to go back to the reveal again and look at it again and look how they actually saw each other. Do you know what I'm saying? And see how he actually responded to her. Because as for now, obviously, I haven't seen anything too crazy that showed me that he doesn't fancy her or doesn't find her attractive. But at the same time, he negs her a lot, right? He makes these comments that are negging, and that's a part of the manipulation. But that's also part of the Red Pill nice guy tactic as well, to neg somebody in that space because you're trying to have power over them because you're insecure. So that's why I can also understand where Dahlia was coming from, because that's actually one of the process and steps of the Red Pill nice guy situation. So I definitely hear that. I think in that space to give him a little bit of credence, not too much, is that I think he is a bit on set. I think he's equating sex to maybe the person liking him, or giving some access or whatever. And then with Lauren as well in that space, I definitely feel like, you know what, that fresh whack ain't. Listen, sex is not only in the pussy. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I don't think that woman likes him. Okay, so as much as I think David's a little bit unsure. I don't think she also is as attracted to him in that way, or I'm willing to be open and consider another position, which is also, I'm gonna go back to that Red Pill thing that Dahlia was saying about, and saying that also she's also playing the game of, I busted wide open for a couple of other people. That was me being my friendly, free self, and now I want to be different. So I don't want to be busting out, even though she's married and even though she has an emotional connection. That thought process is something that I've seen on Red Pill too, with women too, like trying to create that. I don't want to be. I want to make sure he values me because you haven't valued yourself for a little while in a particular space. So I'm also open to that side of things as well. I'm not going to choose either position. I don't think there's enough information as of yet to make concrete decision for me personally, but I'm understanding everybody's point of view, and I can see where you guys are coming from on both sides. I can see where Jay is talking about her side and say that Dave doesn't like her and she don't like him. I can see that too, you know what I mean, as well. So yeah, definitely see those points. Any more thoughts around this Dave in that situation? Yes, Jay, go for it.
I hear y'all on that topic real quick or whatever and stuff like that, but she just busted it open just before she left for this trip for somebody else, quote unquote. Okay, allegedly. But here's this other thing too that I'm gonna give her a little bit of defense in. He keep talking about Molly. I'm not trying to bust it open for you while you talking about a whole nother woman. Like, what are you doing? Like, you keep speaking on Molly and stuff, so why would I be trying to give you some? Make that make sense, sir.
Well, if you gave me some, I wouldn't have to talk about Molly.
Yeah,
he's in cold.
Trying
Yes,
to put me
go
on
for
a
it.
deal. Put me on a deal.
We should not completely be shocked by Easton's take on this. I mean, this is definitely on brand. But I definitely see that she likes him. I think that, hey, listen, could Jay's theory be true? Sure, she's putting him on ice for some particular reason. I just didn't see it that way. Because she's been into him the whole time. And I think her energy has been one of really being into him. And even once he confronted her with this, friend of a friend of a friend through 6 degrees of separation, that she had a friends with benefits relationship with, she's been trying to prove herself. So I think, to me, that shows like she likes him. Now, I think the problematic part is she was already forewarned about how his personality was. He's told us he's a jerk, and I'm paraphrasing. He's pretty much defined himself as an a-hole and how his persona is, and she signed on for that. So I think he's just now displaying who he is, and he is definitely, I didn't catch all of what Dahlia was saying, but, pretty much he feels like he should have access because, hey, you were giving it up to somebody else not too long ago with less of a relationship, and now here we are. It's You know, it's a mentality that kind of takes you down a path of entitlement, which is a problematic way of thinking about that. So, you know, that's my 2 cents.
Can somebody
Yeah.
just quickly tell me the two sides? What's Eastern side and what's, so then I can know where I need to bop in? Because I don't want to repeat nothing.
Don't worry. Repeat what you got to repeat. You say
No, but
whatever
I
you
just
feel
want to
free
know,
to
like, what
say.
are the two sides? I
You
feel like
got
there's
it,
two sides.
twin. You got it. We here. We
I
locked
don't
in.
even want to
Go.
tell you what the side is, because whatever side you choose, whatever side you choose, you might have a third side. Let's not tell you. Go free.
I hate,
Don't
okay,
worry
I
about
don't
it.
need to
Don't
repeat
worry
it.
about repeating. We appreciate your view. Go on, sis.
Okay, I was looking for my remote because I have y'all up on my TV, so please let me know if it echoes, if you hear us in the background. But my side is the fact that what is this? What is my side is I don't know who, Mark, if you could find the TV so you could cut it off. I can't find the remote. My side is the fact that she definitely likes him, right? She definitely likes him. What she was doing is what a lot of women do, is the fact that they hold out when they feel like a guy is going to be a dick, for lack of better words, or a guy is going to be really rough with their heart. They don't give you none in the beginning because they don't like to you don't want to let your heart get ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to hold off a little bit to control your emotions. Now, in the meantime, in between time, he found out that she was busting it wide open while she was holding out. And that threw a wrench in the plan, because what she was trying to do is do like that good girl. I'm going to hold out. I'm going to get to know you. I'm going to guard my heart, because I already know he's a butthole. So I don't want to jump too far. So she was trying to hold out, but then it messed up because the good girl act got messed up because he found out that she was busting it wide open a week before or 2 weeks before. And or 2 weeks, right? And his problem is, I see a lot of theories, people thinking that this is a scheme that Todd set up so he can get to Molly. No, it's not. He is literally pissed off because in his mind, he chose her because she was supposed to be the good girl. She was supposed to be the good girl, all for him to find out that she was busting it wide open. Now he's in a tizzy. He's effed up because he is one of those people who feels like women, the wife of his should be pure. The wife of his should be, I don't know, she need to hold herself to a certain standard. Because if he wanted somebody who be busting it wide open, he would have picked Molly. Now he's trying to figure out how he gonna reconcile, because he picked the good girl who whole time had a friends with benefits, and then to add insult to injury, she didn't give him none. So then now she's crying her white tears because what she looked like she was gonna be wasn't it, when whole time he told her that he was red pill. He told her he didn't even believe in, I don't know, like women's rights to choose. He told her he was a misogynist. He told her he was a butthole. He literally told her all of these things. And see, she let the pick me get ahead of her. The thing is, she was trying to be picked over Molly. She was selling dreams, selling good girl dreams, selling girl next door dreams, selling pick me dreams. And then once she got found out that she was busting it wide open and she ain't no different than Molly, now she's trying to cry.
See, wait, add the fact that his friend group knows the dude she busted it wide open for,
and the dude
right before the show.
And the
it
dude
was 2
was
days.
Now, do I agree with this whole thing? Do I agree that he should be acting like that? What now? Here's where he has me effed up at. To me, if this is your standard, right? If this is how you feel, mind you, Dave has been nothing but consistent this entire time. If this is how you feel, if you believe that women need to have pure bodies and all this bull crap, and you don't want to know the person she done mess with, whatever, let that girl free. Stop torturing that girl. Just say you can't do it. Just say you can't do it. And mind you, I'm not mad at him. If he says he can't do it, he can't do it. And what she needs to stop doing is she needs to own that she was busting it wide open 2 weeks ago, and stop trying to say, oh, it was just friends with benefits. Girl, that's the problem. He probably would have preferred if it was a relationship. You keep talking about it was just friends with benefits. It's not helping. It's hurting. That's part of the problem. So when he told you that he thought you was a hoe, don't never let nobody tell you a hoe more than once. Just go.
If you've been a hoe more than once, then that's what it is. But she need not never take him around them friends again either, because they kept reminding him she's a hoe too.
We all been. Oh, I'm not gonna say we all been there, but if you ever dated somebody and you found out that you done messed with their friend before you knew that was their friend, you have to come to them as a woman and say, "Hey, I actually had to do this before. I found out that the guy that I was dating, like I was actually in a relationship that I actually dated his friend, and I didn't know they were friends. And I was scared to death, but I knew I had to own it. I said, hey, I don't know if you're gonna have a problem, but I actually used to talk to your friend. Is you cool with that? Or if you not, we could go our separate ways. You just let me know. He said he was cool with it. I was like, okay, cool. Okay, it's 2020, whatever year it was. I was like, okay, cool, you know, but I was fully prepared to walk away because I know dudes are weird about that. I mean, should they be? Probably not, but I know they are. And so I was like, fine, but you gotta own it. You know what I mean? You gotta own it. And I feel like she's not owning it. And she really presented Girl Next Door all to be busting it wide open 2 weeks before the experience. Honestly, she gives such a sweet Midwestern girl. I don't know why she was busting it wide open 2 weeks ago. I really don't. But that's none of my business. But she gonna have to own it. She is.
Thank
And I
you,
don't know what
Sue. That was
everybody
a
else
great
said, but
expulsion.
okay.
No,
yeah.
you said what some people were saying, and there's no right or wrong, by the way. I think everyone's making actually really eloquent points on either side. It can be either or because we don't have all the information right now. It's a bit early, you know what I'm saying to you. So I'm loving the theories. It's making a lot of sense. I'm learning a lot. Yes, Sean, you want to go for it? You open your mic.
Yeah,
You
only
open your
thing I
mic.
was going to say is similar to Seaway. It's like once a guy tries to run your hoefax, it's a wrap, you know. And I think that she just needs to stop crying and begging and pleading, you know, because he's told her everything that he thinks about her. He's like slow walking her right out of the relationship. And in that last scene, when she was like, I would prefer that we stay here, and he was like, no, I need to get away to clear my head. That's when he slipped out of her grasp. He slipped out of her grasp, and she needs to just reconcile that it's over. And I think I do feel like he's using these excuses because it's been his sister and then my friends and everybody knew. All of the if somebody is into you, and I think that's like the real wake up call, whether this whole situation with her friends with benefits situationship, if that's true or not, whatever it is, once a guy starts weaving this much doubt into any scenario, it's going nowhere real fast. And even if he stays with you, it's not going to go anywhere because that's going to keep coming back up. Because anytime a guy is thinking about what's going on, running your past, running who you slept with, what you did, why you did it, that already, his mind has already gone to the dark place. So let it go, slide down the wall at home. I get it, it may be hurtful, you saw your future, you saw your wedding day. Stop it right there. And for her, she's looking for all the pain she's about to get if she keeps trying to prove herself. She wants to meet with his friends and defend herself. Why are you going to sit before a whole tribunal and talk about it? Don't even put yourself in that position. She needs to tuck her shame in, realize it went left. This could be God's protection. His rejection is God's protection sometimes, and just stop it. Just stop the whole thing.
I don't see where
Dahlia was going to go.
Shane.
Sorry, Dahlia. I apologize. She was meant to go after Seaway. Apologies. And then you can go. So I'll sit after.
That's all right. Okay, so I'm gonna put my Kojo cap on here because I was thinking about Dave here, and I'm listening to you guys, and y'all have a slightly different view on this than I do. And to be honest with you, I felt like um, I can't really get a good beat on Dave as far as like what his attraction levels are. And it seems to me, like Seaway was saying, that he chose Lauren because she reminds him. Um, I think she's the woman that his mother would have chosen for him. And it seems like his mother plays a very big part in his life, so much so that he's now transferred that role onto his sister. And now she's playing that role. And honestly, I think he wants Lauren to do the same thing because he called her maternal, which is a weird thing to call a woman that you wanna be your wife. I don't know if I would want my man to call me maternal like that, like in that way, because it didn't. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. It's a little incesty for my taste, but that's neither here nor there. Um, when she told him that she got the wax, the way I read it, I got the impression that he didn't really care. Like he didn't even say, Oh shucks, what? 24 hours? There was none of that. He was way too calm about the situation. I feel like she put that out there to test him to see what he would say, and then he didn't react how she wanted him to, and maybe that threw her off or something. I don't know, but then when they went to the party, he was asking all the couples. To be honest with you, I thought he was doing that because the producers put him up to it because he literally asked everybody, even the women, and that's weird. I've never seen that in on any of the Love Is Blind, and they'll normally pick somebody to be like the person to kind of ask the questions. You see that on reality TV, but like the questions that were posed, and the fact that he even asked the women, I thought, oh, that's the producers asking him to do it because they know he will. Like he's that kind of guy. He'll do it. I didn't think that that meant that he was hard up for Lauren. And then on top of that, if you guys remember, when they moved into the apartment and they had that big fight, I want to say episode 9, she even said he doesn't sleep there anymore. He moved out. He's not there anymore. So if he's so hard up over her and he's really wanting to be with her, like why is he moved out? I really don't think that he's into her like that. I think he liked Molly for sure. I don't think he was really into to Lauren. I think he chose her because he thought she would be what his mom wanted. But then when coming to find out, she busted it wide open for a real one. Like, those dreams, those mother dreams got shattered. He don't know what to do with himself. It's like, okay, so you can't be a mom like I need you to be, and I'm not attracted to you, so I don't really want you. And he's throwing out all of this stuff to try to get her to push off, and she won't. Here's the thing that I noticed about David I don't like, and I noticed he did this with Molly too, is he will tell you his thoughts and his emotions, and then expect you to do something about it. He did that with Molly when they were breaking up. Did you guys notice that? Because like he threw all this word salad out and then made Molly guess to try to figure out what it was he was saying. She's like, okay, so are you trying to break up with me? He's like, oh, well, I thought I did. And then she left. But it's like he's forcing her to say the thing so he doesn't have to be the one to say it. And I feel like he's doing the same thing with Lauren. It's like he's throwing up all these roadblocks and saying all this stuff to try to neck her, make her feel bad about herself, putting her in a position where she has to defend herself over some stuff that has nothing to do with him, rather than him just leaving and saying, I want to be done. He won't do that. He's going to try to put it on her to make her feel bad and force her so that way he doesn't have to be the bad guy. Because I think that's his number one thing that he hates. I think he's tired of being the bad guy because his mom told him he's a bad guy, you lack integrity, and then she died. And he's like, nope, we're not doing that no more. I'm going to be the good guy here. I'm going to make you be the bad guy. I'm going to destroy your reputation and force you to break up with me so I can walk away and be the good guy. That's what I think is happening here.
Before you go, Houston, let me just reset the room and then you can go. It's Elsie than you. But first of all, obviously, audience, listen, we've got 318 people in the room and it's climbing. So shout out to you guys who are enjoying the conversation. There's a lot to unpack with this. I told you guys, you thought it was Love Is Blind. You just wasn't paying attention because you didn't see melanin. But don't worry, we're going to discuss these Caucasoids because they are as crazy as we are. So I can't wait for them to break it down some more. But listen, we got some wonderful people in the room who have gifted some people. We have Be Love who gifted 10 memberships. Shout out to you. Thank you very much for gifting out 10 membership. High Vibe as well. Ari, we thank you very much for gifting 5 memberships to the people in the room as well. Shout out to Laya as well. Is it Laya? You know me, I'm going to kill somebody's name. That's one thing I'm going to do. Don't let me say your name incorrectly. But I think it's Laya as well. And you've also gifted 10 memberships. Thank you very much as well. We appreciate you as well. Shout out to new members, Smiles, and we've also got Princess K as well, who's joined as well. You know, when you guys gift, I appreciate it. I gotta show love all the time as well. You know, I play my little clip because we appreciate you.
Is
Okay.
the new king?
That's how we celebrate the people them who be giving the gifts over as well. So those of you who are in the chat and you've been blessed and you've been given some free memberships, welcome to the Mineral Gang family. It's appreciated. It just means that you can be a part of the conversation. And I know this conversation is exciting. I know a lot of you got your theories in here as well. I know a lot of you also have thoughts on this. So we can't wait to hear some more of your thoughts in the chat. So keep them coming as well. Someone asked, is that a mating call? It can be for somebody. You might not get the right kind of person. You might get a real animal. So be careful who you're woofing at. El Cid, you know, we've broken down a lot of Dave and Lauren in terms of different points of view, and I think everyone's got some valid points from their perspective. Talk to me about this, Dave and Lauren. Let's reset the room again. Dave and Lauren, this situation, because this conversation has gone from episode 7 to 8 to 9. It's been consistent in terms of the issues that they've actually faced as well. I'm gonna get you and Easton as last voices on this particular part of it, because after I want to ask about the fact that this push for him to just want to speak to Molly was kind of weird to me, and I want to definitely get your thoughts. But obviously on him and Lauren, you know, where it is at now. Talk to me. What's your thoughts again? You were going to add something.
Yeah, I was going to add that Lauren's friends did not help the situation. They were in the moment caught lying for her. They never met the man. Then all of a sudden they hung out with him. He's just looking for clout. It's like, if you're going to step up for your friend in that regard, you got to get the story straight. You got to have the story straight. Also, what I was questioning with Lauren, like the first minute I heard about it, I'm like, why are these people talking about Lauren's life and this? Then when Lauren started to discredit the messenger, well, you were never really good friends with him anyway. That's when I kind of like, girl, are you denying what was said, or are you trying to discredit the messengers? Where I kind of started to side-eye her and the situation. But David, I think he's looking for a way to backpedal out. I think, as he said in the pods, he has made reckless decisions before, that his family made decisions for him. So I'm thinking he's trying to be like, I made the choice my family probably would have wanted me to make, the former school teacher, and now he's kind of like, no, buyer's remorse. He's trying to backpedal.
Easton.
Agreed. I also think that with Dave gives me like a guy who was a little heavy set when he was younger and then lost some weight. And so now he needs a lot of intimacy to validate what's going on. And so in my opinion, Dave really is hung up on the no intimacy from Lauren, a lot more than he should. But knowing all the other stuff on the back end, because again, Dave didn't know about what she was doing, and he probably wasn't aware of like the waxing being like a cover. I'm pretty sure he didn't put 2 and 2 together, even after once he realized all this information came out from his friends and about her hooking up with the friends with benefits 2 days or however long it was before she came onto the show. With Lauren, she just wanted to be picked super bad, and so that's why she was doing a lot of the shady stuff with Molly and how she ended up getting into the position that she got into. But now she's having to live with the actual being of Dave, and that makes it to where she didn't like him. I think that in theory she just wanted to be picked, and being picked, we all know, you know, you get to be on the show, you get more opportunities, longer time. But in reality, I think that once she saw him face to face and how he acts and how he operates, she's not really that attracted to him. And so now we're starting to see that both of them are lying for particular reasons. I'm sure Dave knows that he's seen the show many years, and he's like, hey, if I come across or if I act a particular type of way, I'll be deemed as a villain. So let me not do that. And this is why he's not being so super direct, although he should be.
Any other thoughts on yes, Dahlia, you want to go? Any other thoughts after Dahlia about his about the friends situation, about the friends being involved with Molly and trying to, I guess you said, lie for her, I guess, or at least cover for her. If any other thoughts on that's fantastic, we'll go for it. If not, I'll ask the question about the Molly situation and him being so intent on meeting Molly and how you felt about that. Yes, Dahlia.
Oh, I actually didn't mean to turn it on, but real quick about the friends. With friends like these, who needs enemies? I'd rather you just shut all the way up. Just be quiet. 'Cause you're making the situation so much worse. Just be quiet.
Can somebody explain to me what the friends did wrong? I know they messed up the. I know they kind of messed up the lie, but they were trying to help. I mean, from my understanding, did I miss something?
That's the biggest part. You got to keep it congruent. I mean, not only that, but they were like some buzzards. Like they definitely gave bird behavior, but that lie, the incongruent. Oh, you seen him, but you didn't. You don't know anything about him. It just was.
You mean
sloppy.
when they were at the fitness at the
So
Yeah.
the friends decide that one wants to tell the story of how he was dating somebody else and they had always hanging together and all this. So that means that it didn't mean nothing, but then turn around and be like, well, we never met the man. She never brought him around. But then somebody threw in the lie in there when he says, oh, she seen the man the other day. And oh no, she was with us. She already told that she seen the man. Like,
But did the friends have the friends ever met him though?
the friend says that they have met him with another chick that he was dating, another girl that they know or whatever and stuff like that. So they know the man because of another girl. However, that they never seen him, it's not serious. Let's put it like this. It's not serious because Lauren never brought him around. So
that was a lie.
Yeah, but no, it's making it worse. It's a lie. You're making it worse because he's already, like you said, he's already mad that this is a friends with benefits situation. So now, now you're saying that he never brought him around, so it was never serious. So don't worry about it. And that's what he's pissed off about already.
Well, I thought they were just. I get that they didn't make it better, but I felt like they were sincerely trying to help. They didn't make it better, but
yeah, they should have just.
Okay.
So I was watching it behind the. Let me see if I can play a little bit of a clip for you guys, and then I'll explain because I didn't get it at first, and then I'll explain a little bit about what actually happened in this scene here for you guys as well.
Out. He would have been at our engagement
party.
party.
That's what my friends have told me is that like they hung out like right away before she left.
Absolutely.
And I was like, okay,
She was with us.
This is where my mind spirals.
Okay, so obviously he said about she hung out with the dude 48 hours before the time. The dude said obviously that, and she said that's not what happened. That never happened. She never saw him. In fact, I think she said she hasn't seen him for about a month or whatever because she said that she was at home. Problem is, his friends then said, at first, what they actually said was, yeah, we were hanging out at the engagement party, but she was not with him. He was there. So, which means y'all did see each other. So the whole lie, so that makes it even a bigger lie. So when you said he didn't see him at all before the weekend, I know what she was trying to initially say, but it's actually a bigger lie. You did see him. You just didn't see. Maybe you were trying to say that you didn't see him in that private capacity, and you're trying to play in that grey area. But you know, the friends then said, obviously we did see him, but it was at an engagement party, which means there's probably more to the story than you're telling us. You covering for your friend like the man them do. Like I said, you don't trust no man and trust no woman because all of y'all are a bunch of liars when you want to lie. Do you know what I'm saying? So you get your friends and your ducks in a row. So I think that's where the lie is in a sense. Like again, that doesn't necessarily free Dave anything on it necessarily, but there's definitely some lying going on there. I hope that makes sense. Let's see, wait, does that make sense?
Now, Kojo.
Yes.
This is why I said the hoefax. And I don't know if you guys have this in the UK, and this was my shortened way, so I just want to clarify for anybody watching. You know, like a Carfax gives you the history of everything that car has done, right? You know, all its maintenance, any problems, any accidents. So when I say hoefax, I'm not necessarily saying Lauren is a hoe. Please, I don't think that. But he's trying to get down all of her entire history. And anytime a man gets into the weeds of your sexual past, it is not going anywhere. So, as much as those friends were trying to help, it wasn't going to do anything because I think he's already made up his mind. Now, he's going to try to push her because, again, similar to what somebody else said, I'm not sure who it was, but it's going to get her to start self-doubting because now you're like picking at, okay, were you here? Were you there? Were you at this place? Where were you at 9 o'clock on Tuesday? And then you get the person confused. And before they know it, they're saying things that they don't. And then eventually it's just going to you know, she's just gonna like stress herself out and be like a weak, wounded animal on the floor. So the whole thing is torturous. It's pretty torturous. And again, it's a danger. It's not a dangerous game, but it's just a mean game of like just nitpicking at somebody and what they did when you know what's happening inside of your head is I'm turned off. I've got the ick. We always talk about women having the ick. This is what happens when a guy has an ick and it's tied to your sexual past. It's insane. And I hate watching it for her, but also she knew what she signed up for. And this is a classic example of I never thought the leopard was going to eat my face. And now it's eating your face. And you're like, oh shoot, they're doing it. He's doing it to me. Oh my God. Oh my God, this can't be happening. No, I'm gonna fix my way out. No, it's quicksand. Just get out because it's going nowhere. And I just want her to just stop this nonsense because anytime it's a super red flag, you know, anytime somebody gets into the weeds like that, it's going nowhere.
No, I don't necessarily disagree with that at all. I think it makes it's trickier because the whole situation is about one situation, which is about this X. That's what makes it trickier, right? So I definitely agree with the hoefax situation, especially as men. That is a big thing. When you know what I mean, like if a man does want to run you through your whole sexual history, that's a problem. The only difference I would make in this situation, again, I'm not giving him a pass because I think he's still problematic, is that this particular person that we're talking about, he's not talking about other exes. He's talking about one specific ex, which is now connected to you and connected to his friends. And so that's why I said there's two sides to the story, which I'm seeing both of them a little bit in the sense of, I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass, but not too much of a pass, because I think he's a douche. When you're negging people in the pods, you didn't know all the story, so he's still a douche. But even with the douche, there are some aspects of the story which is not making sense for Lauren, because if it's clean, why are your friends having to lie for you? It's clean. You know what I'm saying to you? Why you gotta lie to you? Which means there's something else that you're not really being truthful about. That you put, and so that means that now it's actually gonna make the situation even worse. But again, I don't think he necessarily wants it all the way like that as well. I think he's a bit fearful in that respect. But yeah, when the friends came out and lied for her, you know now that no one's gonna try and trust. No one wants to trust that now that you know your friends are willing to lie for you. So and again, like I said, this is dark art, so. It comes down to that integrity piece where someone's going like, I can't now trust you ever, because if I call you, say you're with your friends, I know your friends can lie for you. They're lying for you now in something that doesn't even, it's not even a big thing, because really and truly, like you said, if you own it, you own it. This is the beginning ratio. I don't really know you. If you own it, you're owning it. So I can see how that can be a very difficult situation. So if I was to take Dave out of it completely, because I still think Dave's a douche. If this was someone else, I'll be like, raw, this is a little bit difficult to take in, like, as a person, knowing that the person who's saying that they're cool with what they've done, whatever, cool, but they're not owning it and they're lying. And and the problem is you have people who are verifying that this is the truth, and now they're discrediting his friends. So now it's even bigger. So actually, it's not a small thing anymore. Now your friends are now telling me that my friends are actually liars. They actually questioned their friends. They said, "What kind of friends do you have around you?" They actually asked that. Like, you know, how can you? And so now I'm like, oh, so you gaslighting me. And what my friendship is, knowing that you know that there's more to the story, knowing that you know that she met the guy at the party, that's crazy work. So I'm only saying this because I think this is a great example when I say that when men and women are trash, we all talk about men being trash, and every season we nail men like Jesus Christ to the cross. And yet Jesus died 2,000 years ago, and we'll keep nailing the men. But this is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to dark arts. This is friendship. And what Lauren are doing is some dark arts. But Dave is still a douche. And it doesn't stop him being a douche. He'll continue being a douche.
Jesus was innocent. No, you didn't.
Pure.
My bad, Jesus.
No. Pure is the driven snow.
I'm so sorry. Jesus, forgive me.
Please, bro. You are deep in prayer these days. I need you don't get too far on the other side, bro. We don't want to lose you.
Quick question, because I see some parallels between this situation and the David and Michelle situation. So if we find out that Lauren,
you don't see no parallels, Easton.
I happen to see some parallels.
Be an agent of chaos. Go ahead.
So if we find out that Lauren is lying, does that absolve Dave of?
Absolutely. We have to actually retroactively look at it, because his instincts were telling him that she's a liver hoe. So we have to definitely agree that. I hear you. I'm with you, sir. I will carry this fight till today.
I just want to set the table.
Diabolical CSI agents that piece together evidence in such a horrible way. You two gonna
Eastern.
try to
First of
correlate
all,
and
Sean,
take
don't even worry about
Well,
it.
I
You
get
just
DNA
have to compare
and
Jesus to a
rewrite
man
Oh,
who
it.
is
suddenly it doesn't
went
matter
wrong.
anymore.
Okay,
It
so we
only
already know
Of
works if
course
you
he's
it
not
guys
getting no
matters.
white
His
engage.
man.
his
C-Way was
tactics
the
are
CEO of
still
this.
It only
horrible.
works if you guys engage. I'm not engaging in this. Whatever you say, Easton.
Hey, we didn't say you have to
I just
respond, but the
find
reality is,
I
I
just
hear
found
you,
it
Easton.
interesting.
Easton, I didn't even think of it, but the fact that you think you're on it, I'm with you, bro. I'm
The
with
fact
you.
that you compare
The
Jesus
fight
to
don't
some
end.
man that's doing dirty, we just gonna let y'all stay on that little other side of the world right now. Go
Hey, there
ahead.
was two other people on the cross as well who were next to him who weren't so clean. So my bad. I
We
changed
don't
the
know
analogy.
that.
The
We
two other
just
people
don't
on
know
the
their
cross,
story.
the
All right.
thieves.
We don't know their story.
Hello, any other thoughts on this? Apart from us being a little bit petty, any other thoughts on this as well? In regards, have we nailed it to the cross, so to speak?
Stop playing with God today. Somebody gonna come and strike us down on this
Hey,
live.
there was two other people that were on the cross as
Got
well.
you
There was two
playing
other
with
people that were
God.
on 30 crosses. I'm not about Jesus anymore. Forgive me, Jesus.
Oh, so you and Easton are two other people. I got it.
But are you repentant? Because those two thieves were repentant. Are you two
Well, one
repentant?
was.
I just found it
You're
interesting. I'm
not.
sorry.
Well, clearly
You're
Easton because he
downtrodden.
started stuttering as soon as you
I know the caveats, so
I
don't.
didn't know I was on trial like my good father in heaven. I didn't know I was on trial, guys. Okay, all right. Listen, I said one mistake. My bad. Okay, can I get a pass like Peter? Damn.
That's what
Not
Lauren
you
is looking for,
gaslighting your
a
way out. Don't
pass.
gaslight your way
Lauren
out.
looking for a pass. Now you want a pass. We ain't
she
giving
got
out
a pass
passes.
before she a wax pass. She got a wax pass.
He'll treat you
My
just
bad.
like Dave did to Lauren. Who you slept with? Where was you with 2 days before? What you did at the 22nd mark? Who? Huh? How many times? What? Where'd y'all meet? You never went to his house? What?
Here's my thing.
Quick,
My
quick,
bad.
quick. Make
My
sure the
running
answers are consistent.
my running theme is all about consistency. To me, that is my problem. Since you want to take it back to math so bad, my issue with David is the cap part of it. He was acting like he was a good guy. Whole time he was smashing Madison, right? That's my problem. My problem with Miss Lauren is that she was giving Girl Next Door in Minnesota, right? She was giving that, and whole time that she was busting it wide open 2 days down before to the thing. My thing is, do not present something that is not consistent. You can own whatever truth. We're not here to whole shame nobody. I know I'm not, but I'm not giving you Girl Next Door if I know that what I was doing down 2 days ago. I just think consistency and authenticity needs to be the word of the day. Live your truth.
Give me that Family Guy Minnesota again. See what?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Oh,
Wait a minute. See, wait. What is this about Dave being with Madison? What now?
no, David from Married at First Sight.
Okay,
We
we
have a
not
long
about to
standing
do
Oh.
this.
beef.
Okay, we are
Oh.
not.
We have a long standing
Like,
beef.
Easton wants to
We
bring
don't
it up.
love
I
this
said
man.
my problem
Oh.
is the inconsistency. People are not being authentic.
We have a long standing beef. Don't
But
worry.
you know
It's
what,
not
though,
personal, but
Celie?
it's personal.
Yeah.
That's her fault though. She feel like she got to defend herself, and it's just like you grown. You can do what you want to do. If there's a decision that you
She
made, stand
does.
on that.
She does, Dahlia, because she
That's
presented
the
herself as a
patriarchy.
girl next door. And when you present yourself as a girl next door, but you was smashing the homies and the friends, you do have to explain yourself at this point or walk away. She
But
should just walk away because, like Sean said, when a man starts counting your hoefax, it's over. It's over.
See,
There's no
wait.
redemption.
This man is calling her a liar. He's allowing his friends
And
to
a
destroy
hoe.
her reputation and a hoe. Like
My thing is, if
they
I
don't
know
do
I
that from this.
did, my thing is, Dahlia, if I know I did what they said I did, I'm packing it up anyway because I'm not going to trial. You don't go to trial when you know you guilty. Don't go to trial if you know you guilty. She's trying to go to trial. Got her friends on the stand, lying on the stand.
she want to get out on a
Hey.
technicality.
You gotta get up there
She
like
want to
Kendrick
get
and be
out
like,
There's
on a
no plea deal being
technicality.
offered right now. What
hey,
else
she
can
needs
she
to
do?
get up there like Kendrick and be like, I did that.
Yeah.
Hey, what's
She
up
only
though?
had a few options. She should say she did it and be like, Dad, do you want me or not? Or she should have
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
I'm
I
good.
Pull a
do think
Molly.
I
Pull a
do think
Molly.
I think there's something too though, because I think he also wants her to be a good girl, because although I slept through a good portion of the pod's episodes 1 through 4 and a little through 5, I do remember in one moment of clarity, I remember them having a conversation in the pods. And he was like, I envision you as this good girl. I envision you as somebody that's like this good teacher, blah, 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 blah. Right. And she was like, well, kind of not so. Why do you think that? Like, so she's like battling with this perception that he has of her already, mirrored with the perception that she know, or the truth that she knows about herself. And I don't think anybody, unless they're like all the way, out on the extreme, is gonna be like, yeah, I have very loose standards, so you could get it and you could not. You know what I mean? Like, I just think like there's some of that in there too. Not to say she's excused, but there's a little bit of that, him just over putting what he wants her to be. Like that whole theory of, I want you to be like my mother, and then I want you to be a little freak too. Like some guys
Yeah.
have that idea of what a woman should be, or especially their wife.
You know what,
She had-
Sean? I
Tell
think
them that I'm
Yeah.
the teacher like Friday Night Lights. You know what I'm saying? During the daytime, I'm gonna wear my little wrap dresses and my statement pieces, and at nighttime, I'm gonna be swinging from a pole. So, figure it out, my guy.
but guys like that can't handle it. I think he has this whole
he was
Madonna whore complex thing going, where it's like women can only be one or the other. He doesn't know what to do with both. Because Molly was honest with him. Molly told him, I was the other woman. I was a side piece. After he told her that he was a cheater, and she was willing to accept him for that. I don't think he told Lauren all of that, but he told Molly. But I think with Lauren, in his mind, he thought that she was going to be the Madonna and Molly is the whore, and he chose the Madonna. And then when it come to find out, her and Molly ain't that far apart, he don't know what to do with himself. He's spazzing out. So yeah,
But
guys
that's the
like
thing.
him, they
This
can
is what
No.
Lauren gets. This is why Lauren's not a victim,
Yep.
because Lauren was down to that women's lounge plotting on
Mhm.
Molly. She knew Molly was loose as a goose, side chick, all this type of other stuff. So she
Yep.
was trying to be the antithesis of that, and she was
Mhm.
betting on that. She was being a pick me, and this is why I tell you, ladies, being male identified, you'll never prosper. Being a pick me, you will not prosper. Yes, sometimes you'll get short term gain. There is a lot of times you'll get short-term gain being a pick-me. You're going to get picked, and then you're going to realize who selected you. So my thing is, don't be a pick-me, ladies. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. She was trying to not be a girl's girl, go around Molly. She knew Molly. She knew how Molly get down. So she's like, I'm going to be the opposite of Molly. I'm going to be a good girl, knowing good and well what you were doing 2 weeks ago. And I'm sorry. Now, this may be male identified of me. Hold on, I'm gonna claim it. This may be
Come on,
male
Chloe.
identified at me. I'll own this part. But
That's
I
right. You come
don't
to the side,
feel
sis.
like, and maybe this is not male identified because this goes for men or women. Personally, if you're going on a show that could possibly lead to marriage, I don't believe that you should be inserted or inserting in nothing 2 weeks, 2 days before the process. You need to clear your mind. You need to clear your spirit. It's not even about the act. Let your spirit be clear. To me, you're not taking it very seriously if you were down with any man, let alone a man you don't even care about, 2 weeks before the process. To me, you're not ready for love. And that goes for
And
man
that
or women. You're not ready for love.
and that was
That's what I
Dave.
said.
He said the same thing. He said, didn't he say that he's been
Wait,
single for like 2 years or something like that?
no, hold
40,
up,
40.
Dahlia. Hold on, because I'm
Was
not
it
gonna
4?
sit there and let Dave have credit for that
He said
BS.
4.
Yeah, he said 4. He had not been in a relationship for 4 years, and he was trying to be judgy on that part too. Like, bro, you not ready for marriage either. You ain't even been practicing in this time. So, like, what are you talking about? You can't sit here and just come out and try to judge people who might have just got out of a relationship a month, 2 months, or whatever prior. Now, hers is a little bit more sketchy because it was a little bit like 2 days. But he was given, like, if you just got out of a relationship a year ago, that's too soon for you to be thinking about marriage. Like, bro, you ain't even been practicing for 4 years. So what are you talking
Look,
about?
So what is the
look.
timeline? So
Did he
what
say
is
he
the
was
acceptable?
celibate for those 4 years, or abstinent for
What
those 4 years?
No, and I think he
He
was
was
very
very
active.
clear about that.
He
He
was
was very
he
He
was
sounded
pro.
like he was very active. But the issue is that them soul ties were real strong with Lauren and that old dude that them soul ties was strong.
because she had 2
And
dudes. It wasn't just one.
But
It was
she
a,
didn't
it
even
was
block
a
him.
sneaky link in the other man. It was a
She
sneaky
did,
link and the other man.
and she didn't block either of them. She didn't
look,
block the one that Dave's crashing out about. She hasn't blocked him. He's still
Or
contacting
boundaries.
her on the phone.
Look, the fact of the matter is Dave isn't upset. Is the reason why Dave is upset? We can act like it's because he thought that she was gonna be a good girl. He knew that the girl had a F the patriarchy tattoo on her butt cheek. He ain't tripping about that. It's because when I check the hoefax and I find out I'm not in the running, I can't. The pink slip can't be passed over to me. Oh, you holding out on the pink slip? That's the problem. Is
She
that
had
he
the
is
F
taking
patriarchy
out?
on her butt.
No, that was Molly. Molly had the tattoo.
Oh, I'm saying he's dealing with somebody who, like, he's dealing with between Molly and Lauren. He's been dealing with people who are like a little shaky. At the end of the day, with Lauren, it's because when he's like trying to put together this hoefax, it's the fact that he's not getting none. Period. That's all it is. If she was putting out for him, he would have no problem. He would have been quiet.
He wouldn't have married her though.
Yeah, he would have.
No,
for the show, he would have.
No,
he would have.
No, Ethan, no.
I think that she don't like. I don't think that she.
No, Issa, not after he comes back home and hears all of this. He still wouldn't have married her.
He just would have been a triple hoe. It wouldn't have been a double hoe. She would have been a triple hoe. She actually did better by not sleeping with him, because then not only now you cross contaminating. So at least she did what women will do is not add to it. Please don't add to it now. That's why she didn't do it, because she didn't want to add to it.
I actually hear that, and that really is a really great point to start and say that I think Lauren left that door open for the old boy. I don't think she thought she was gonna find a husband ready for real. You know what I mean? I think she thought, just in case, let me have my backup plan. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, listen, that is the mindset of somebody who's been on the streets, and I'm not calling her a hoe. I'm saying that is the mindset of someone who's been on the streets. I'm just telling you, as somebody who's been on the streets, that is the mindset. It's always have a backup plan. Always. You go into a relationship, you have a backup plan. That is the street mindset to have. And it needs healing. It really does, because your whole process of mindset is that someone's going to betray you because you're not loyal yourself. You're not committed to anyone yourself. So how can anybody be committed to you? Do you know what I'm saying to you? So when she went into that situation, she kept the backup plan just in case. I got to leave that door open. If this thing doesn't work out, most people leave the show and end up being divorced. So I got to go back to people that are going to satisfy my needs without me adding too much to my body count. I get it. I totally get it. It's just hoe language, and I've been a hoe, so I can understand it. That's what I'm really identifying with my good sis and saying I'm changed now, but I understand where she's coming from. Let her have some grace. You know what I'm saying to you? Jesus covers all. You know what I'm saying to you? You know what I mean? We've all fallen short of the glory of the Lord, Aaron. Okay, come back to Jesus. Okay, we got to end it, this part. Let's go to the next part, because we've spoken a lot on Dave and Lauren, and we can absolutely kill this the whole entire time. Let's talk about another couple on the show. Obviously, really quickly, we'll talk about Ben and Sarah, because they found out that Ben was having a little text gate with his particular situation. He blocked the very person who was texting. So I'll just play a little bit of a clip, and you guys can see it, and we'll talk about Ben and Sarah.
You're scaring me.
Oh my God. TikTok. She doesn't say any names, but she says, like, in Minneapolis, they're filming.
She's crying in it? Yeah.
She's crying. She's basically.
Okay, so if you don't know, what happened was some girl that Ben had been seeing or whatever, or was having. Oh, he didn't say he saw, really too tough. He didn't have sex with her either. They were just kind of talking apparently, and she gingered her crazy self apparently, and now she's talking about their situation. Okay, so I want to get your thoughts on this, because we'll keep it nice and short. It's not going to be a long one, because there are other couples that we can definitely break down a bit longer. But I want to get your thoughts on this Ben and Sarah situation. Who's lying? Is Ben lying, or is this woman that's calling him out lying? Who's lying? You know, who is lying? Because we've got a bunch of liars on this show this season. I appreciate you. Got a bunch of liars. Who's lying? Is Ben lying, or is this woman lying?
Ben is definitely lying.
He for sure lying,
Okay,
but the second video did come out.
The second video?
The second video that the girl, she did put out a second video, because this was the episode that highlighted her video, and so they were kind of like asking her to comment on how deep the relationship was, and she did corroborate his story, where it wasn't like they had went out or they did like hook up or anything like that. So there is that out there. You can find it on TikTok. It's underneath her page. So there is an agreement in that. To me, this just goes along with, if somebody looks like they shouldn't be on the show, whether they be on the I won't say that Ben is the most attractive person, but I think that he's on the show for the wrong reasons. It's most likely that, and Ben is doing that. I'm sure he has he's left a lot of people in his past, whether he's ghosted them, maybe have hooked up with them, et cetera, and now it's coming back to bite him in the butt. He might actually like Sarah. I really don't think he does, because they're so incongruent in their thoughts and how they see life and how he shows up. But she did say that she heard a lot of stories from a lot of other girls, and she never really kind of like got into the minutia of it. And she was very vague and non-specific with Ben and their relationship. But she did say that it wasn't like we were talking or dating or anything like that. He just didn't end up like replying after a while. But there is that to back up his side of the story, although I do think that he is lying overall.
I did see what Easton was saying, and most of what Easton is saying is true. But Andra, the large star on TikTok, she's a large creator on TikTok. She did say that she had a very bad relationship, but brief, with Ben. But the things that she was told by so many people was so disturbing that she felt like she had to get in contact with this lady, because if she didn't, the type of person that Ben would really capitalize on the very isolated situation. Kind of like what we saw with Mr. Help me out, the one that had the baby with the lesbian.
Tyler.
Kind of how Tyler was able to isolate Ashley, even though we found out that Ashley's the bum herself, so that's neither here nor there. But how Tyler was able to isolate Ashley and tell her a lot of lies, pretty much. She was trying to prevent a Tyler situation, because a person like Ben is able to operate better in spaces where he has women isolated. So she did want to make sure that that was known. And I also saw this other thing, where the reason why we had so much of the pods and not that much of the honeymoon is because that the producers were able to confirm so many of these really bad accusations about Ben that they had to cut Ben out of a lot of scenes. That's what I've heard. So that's the reason why not the honeymoon, but the vacation was cut short, and we have a lot of the pods and very short kind of breakdown of Ben's relationship, because the things that came out about Ben were so bad that they were trying to cut him out. That's what I heard.
Okay, so I absolutely think that Ben is lying. I don't feel bad for Sarah, mostly because she should have seen this coming. I feel like he's everything that you said that you didn't want, and you just ignored it because you want to get chose so bad. And I think that Ben is a good-looking guy with weak morals. So I'm sure he does very well in Minneapolis. I'm not really surprised by any of this stuff, sad to say. And to be honest with you, I think he's the kind of guy that us Christian girls have been talking about for like the last 10 years now. And now he's unleashing himself on atheist girls too. I guess he ran through enough of the Christian girls. And he's like, let me just go ahead over to the secular side so I can ruin their life too. Like I feel like this guy, I knew he was a problem from jump, because like why are you dealing with this girl? You say that you go to church every week, and yet you basically have your own faith, your own kind of Christianity that you want to engage in. Um, I felt like he was performing for her. He's performing for his family. He's just a performer. And to be honest with you, I feel like Love is Blind is going to keep running into these stations who are beautiful, but they're not really finding people who are good for this kind of show. Um, it's you're always going to run into stuff like that. So they're shooting themselves in their own foot at this point, because this season is actually fairly weak, and so their ratings are gonna start dropping. Like, you can't keep running off of this style of format. They're gonna have to do better with casting. Funnily enough, isn't this a season where Chelsea was the one who did all the casting? Wasn't she the one who did it? Interesting. The girl in the interracial relationship gave us this Mayo season. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so those are my 2 cents on it.
Anyone else have any thoughts? I guess we don't really care about Ben like that, even though he's not super villain like SK, but even worse.
Yeah,
What?
no.
Oh,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I think that he definitely is a liar. I for sure think he set up the token council where, you know, he had an agnostic, he had a, you know, he had his, you know, one friend that was LGBTQ, he had another friend that, you know, looked to be Hispanic, and they all were singing his praises. You know, so everybody had a great story and an anecdote to share about how good Ben's character was. You know, so that to me is like, I mean, I know we're supposed to always put our best foot forward, but it did seem a little bit contrived when when it came time to meet her friends, his friends rather, for her to meet his friends. And lastly, this is just another example of the leopard eating your face. You never thought the leopard was going to eat your face. But when she asked him some very good questions, she asked him about Black Lives Matter. She asked him about his thoughts on politics. And he said, "Oh, no, you know, I don't really get into that stuff. I don't really know." It's like, so you just don't want to say, or you don't get, how do you just opt out of it? You know, it's like you don't even have an opinion. That to me tells you, it tells you everything you need to know. And we could debate his political beliefs all day or how he feels about race. That's neither here nor there. The point is he's not aligned with you, but yet you think that, oh, I could help him, or, you know, she had all these doubts, but then she went against that inner voice in her head that's like, hey, these are some red flags here, but no, I'm going to just push past it. I'm just going to ignore it because I think we can work through that. No, those are things you're not going to be able to work through because they are very, very core level, very fundamental, rudimentary level things that are very important. And you two, you're not going to bridge that gap because he's all the way over there. So I feel bad that she just, you know, put herself in that position. But then I also think she tried to, you know, feel like, oh, I'm going to get a pass. You know, I'm going to be able to escape it and we can work through it. And that's silly of her to try to do that.
Look, I'm not about to go against anything that y'all have said already. I'm just gonna say there's a big difference between Ben's friends and Lauren's friends, okay? Ben's friends definitely had his back. They were speaking life about him. Like I was just looking like this is not the same man. I know all these TikTok stories is coming out about. This is crazy. Do y'all know y'all friend? But the way they stood by him, they said that he minds and we gonna stick by him. They was sticking by him. They was bigging him up. They was making him sound great in front of Sarah and all this stuff like that. She was eating it all up. So if y'all choose your friends wisely. Get them like Ben's friends because those are the friends that you're going to have to the end. They're going to go to the grave with you. They're going to be accomplice and all kind of stuff because that one that was trying to tell the story of how he got her home while she was drunk and all this stuff. I was just like, yeah, but you know, it was a great story. It's made him sound great. So choose friends like Ben's if you're gonna choose you any.
His friends are good, but I did clock that one of them let slip that she forgot that he was religious. Like it just left her memory that he was religious.
I don't think a lot of people talk about it, especially guys. I don't think we just always, I mean, that might come up in conversation. I think that this is that his token counsel was more of the fact that you can split, you can be a really good friend and not be particularly good, or how you treat people that you're in a relationship with, or people of the opposite sex. I also, it spoke to how Ben might be, you know, really good with women, or not necessarily really good with women, but he's dated a lot of women. Like he was a prospect for the professional baseball. Like he played at the University of Minnesota. Like I'm sure that he wasn't really struggling over finding somebody to date or hook up with or casually be friends with. And so now he has to, you know, pay for his sins of how he treated people in his past. And that's coming out on TikTok, which is, you know, unfortunate because you never know, he might have changed, probably not. But, you know, you're starting to see with Ben, like, people are coming out talking about what you did to them in the past, how you broke their heart or ghosted them or whatever it may be. And so now it came back to Sarah and it's affecting his want his image on the show, because although it wasn't already good, now it's even worse.
Any other thoughts? Are we moving on from these people? Looks like, okay. You know, I just wanted to say, you know, that, you know, had this been a Black Ben, I think we would have been talking a lot more about these Negroes. But you know what? I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. It's just the way the cookie crumbles.
What do you want us to say about? What do you want us to say?
I'm not saying you per se. I'm not saying you per se. I'm talking about the audience as a wider general perspective. And that includes me. Because you see, I'm not doing no videos, but now I just did a TikTok research and I said, God damn, this nigga is being talked about a lot, Ben, and some of the issues that he's dodged. But I'm just saying, as a wider audience, I just want us to be a little bit fair. You know, some of these people are getting crucified. I think other people should be getting nailed as well.
I think you need to ask Miss Ricky Ticky, Miss Jessie Woo.
Now you know how I feel about Ricky Ticky always talking about the man dems, but not talking about how lazy people are.
I'm saying like that. If Miss Ricky Ticky, Miss Jessie Woo, who do this, you know what I'm saying? If they bring out the tea, if they bring the women to their show that have been wronged by Ben, then I think we would discuss it. The problem is we got Andra, who was crying down to TikTok. Y'all know how I feel about all this crying. She was crying down to TikTok, telling stories about other people, hardly even herself. And I haven't even heard any like first accounts. I'm just hearing hearsay about him going to schools and messing with young girls. And to me, he acts like a how you doing to me. So I was waiting for one of them how you doing stories, but I haven't heard any of those. So I really just don't know what to go off of. It's a lot of hearsay. So
I'm not saying you. I'm included.
I mean, people are people. You got people talking about other people. Like we got 3 people layers deep talking about this. So I'm just waiting for somebody to come out and say what he did, and then I will talk about it.
Listen, you're not the only one. I'm included in that. As I'm saying it, I haven't done a video on him, so I'm definitely not saying it's just you. I'm included in the we out here, as someone likes to say. It's the we. So let's move on to a next one, and let's talk about another couple who are also a little bit some way as well. Let's talk about obviously. I wasn't to Devin and Virginia. Let me leave them. I wonder about Joey and Monica, because this sister. We need to talk about the sister, because the sister's giving hate up. But I just watched a TikTok as well as I was looking behind, and I don't remember if I heard it correctly. So maybe you guys can correct me correctly. That because I remember I heard it the first time, but I didn't watch it again, so I didn't listen to it. That person who's in the household with them, whose partner is that? Is that the sister's partner?
Yes.
Yes.
She also dated. He also dated Monica.
Yes.
And then the sister passed him. Then Monica passed him to the sister. So they got a very layered relationship already. So whenever
they share more than socks. They share more than socks.
Definitely more than that sock bin that they sharing. Because I was locked in at this
socks
point.
on the door.
Yeah, that sister. She was brewing. She had a witch's brew in that backyard, trying to set up Monica for failure, telling her she needs an Italian model. I know we ain't talking about looks, but that sister was doing some crazy work, telling her whatever that guy with the long hair's name is. Oh, Joey, I see it on the screen now. Joey ain't good enough for her, and that's not her type. Whenever they start with that stupidity, oh, he's not your type. And Monica was looking at her like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you really talking about? So I think the sister is the villain of all villains. She's that kind of person you don't want in your corner, and as a family member, a friend, a neighbor, because they're always plotting your demise. They want what you want. She already said, oh, I didn't think you would be married first. Okay, well, that's what you get for thinking. Yeah, she's gonna be a major problem. She's sowing seeds of nastiness and discord in their relationship. I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't like her.
That's where I saw the sister sowing those seeds. That's where I had an issue. When the sister said basically she should be the one getting married first, that was the undercurrent for me. I was like, ooh, sis, you probably thought she wasn't going to go there and find anyone and come back home single. You know, why aren't you married to this hand-me-down beau? Okay? I mean, that when I heard that statement, I was like, the sisters messing with this. But Joey handled it well. He said, you sisters have to talk. Don't put me in the middle of this. There's maybe some jealousy factor here, but y'all got to get to the bottom of it before you try to put me in this. And my thing with Monica, don't ever put my clean laundry on the floor to then try and fold it. Don't ever. And to the shady cameraman that zoomed in on the dirty underside of her feet, thank you very much. That proved to me why those clothes should not be on the floor, and then you folded it. Joey handled it very well. Joey handled it like a pro. I would have been horrified, and the clothes would have gone right back into the wash. I'm sorry. Don't do that to me.
All right, let me play a clip before you guys start going in deeper with them. Hold on.
I don't like half-ass it. It's crazy. I didn't think that you would be getting married first. Like in the family, you know? Yeah. Like I'm 5 years older than you. I almost feel like it's...
Let's give a hater. Okay. So let's talk about it. Obviously, Joey plus Monica, sister's jealous, plus the socks on the floor. Yes. Dahlia, you said you had a point. Go for it.
Yes, I have an unpopular opinion. I know no one's gonna agree with me on this. I feel bad for the sister. I do. I see where she's coming from. Not where she's coming from. Let me not say that. I see how she got to be the hater that she is. Because if you guys will recall, when they were all together, that little fam jam session, her family is the one who felt the need to mention to Joey that the boyfriend was dating Monica first, and then Monica basically passed him down to her sister, right? They brought that up. I think it was the mom, actually. I think the mom is the one who brought that up. And the camera panned over to the sister's face, and she looked like you could cracked. Her face was cracked. She looked embarrassed. Her boyfriend giggling and sniggling all over the place. No support for her. Didn't back her up. Didn't say, but you're beautiful. I love you. I made the right decision. Thank you, Monica. You're right. She is better. None of that. None of that ever happened. Nobody took up for her. And in my spirit, I just feel like this is not the first time this has happened, because they did that way too easily. There was no need for them to throw her under the bus like that. I see how she got to be a hater.
You mean at every family dinner they keep saying, when you getting married?
So yep.
But that don't explain that you on camera on this international television embarrassing your sister.
I didn't say it was right, but where's she learning from though? They felt real comfortable embarrassing her on international television. Come on now. That's your family.
She embarrassed herself with that sock drawer. All I could think of when they were doing that, I said, isn't grandma sleeping somewhere? Grandma's in the house somewhere needing her rest. Jesus.
I'm just saying, I see how we got here. That behavior didn't come out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, I think it's diabolical that I don't know whose fault it is, and I'm probably going to think about it as I talk. But obviously, the fact that we have a friend, I just think it's crazy work to have a friend who's in the household, a man that's in the household that someone previously dated and passed off to the sister. It just seems crazy to me. And then we can make jokes about the fact that they may even still like you. Is crazy work. And especially as I'm looking at the two sisters. Okay, I want to be. I said we're not talking about looks here, but I'm saying just a side by side. Just saying, I'm not gonna say what it is, but that can also be something that can be an issue as well. You know what I'm saying to you? So you taking the leftovers. You taking the scraps. I need a sister to have a bit more self-esteem right now, because it does feel a little bit like, because you coming at your sister like that. It's giving a bit of jealousy for your sister. You know what I'm saying to you?
It could be jealousy that Monica may be moving out. I mean, what is this family dynamic going to be when Monica moves out with her new husband and everybody's living in the house to take care of grandma? That's a change in the family dynamic. Sister seeing herself as the spinster at home, but that's her own dang fault.
That's fair.
I pray that Joey gets out of this. Get out of it, my brother. Joey, run. Have the wind flowing between your hair. Get out of there, because you can't win when the family ain't working together. It's gonna be to your demise. And he clocked it. He handled it very well. I must say how he did it in a he posed the question. He posed the whole conversation in a way that was more of a question, like asking her, although he recognized that, hey, this is something that's glaring and obvious, and he didn't do so in a way that made her overtly defensive. So I could appreciate that. But Joey, get out of there, because Monica also seems like the little sister that listens to the big sister a lot, way too much. And that's going to get to her. It's going to eat at her on the inside about all the things that she said about Joey, about the Italian model. And I'm looking like, Italian model where? What kind of Italian? Italian soda? What we looking at? Because this just, it to me, it just didn't make a lot of sense. So Joey, please run. Monica, what?
I was gonna help you with that Italian model theory. Now, if we get in a hand-me-down, she like, listen, I need you to get an Italian model so you can pass them down to me.
help move this thing on up, because she was looking long term. Because I'm looking at myself like, who getting an Italian model in this family? But here nor there. Just run, Joey. Please run for the fence.
We listen and we don't judge, right? You know, she says she can get an Italian model. If they want to be in the land of Delulu, we're gonna leave them there.
Monica wasn't. Monica was looking at her sister like, "What you talking about, sis?" Like, that was for play. I wasn't serious.
Yeah, she definitely did look at her like, I'm not sure what you're conjuring up over there.
Yeah,
but yeah, you with my ex. You with my whole ex. Is that an Italian model sitting at the family dining room table? That ain't no Italian model. And that's actually one of her exes. So yeah, that's next level. And for Monica to not have any self-awareness, everybody knows if your sister is the black sheep, like Dahlia said, or your sister is you have that family member that's the diabolical one, you know. So if you want to be delusional and pretend like, oh, maybe, maybe has some good information. No, you should know. Don't have a one-on-one with her. Don't sit down with her, because you know what that person is going to give. They're not 19. You guys are definitely old enough to know how your sister's mind works. Why you would even sit down there and try to like have a moment with her to get her opinion. You're asking for it.
She need to check that sister. That sister gave me Kim Kardashian when Khloe was getting married to Lamar. And whatchamacallit just had her baby, and she kept crying, this is supposed to be me. I'm supposed to be married. I'm supposed to be. If you were supposed to be, you would be. That's all it is. Be happy for your sister that she found somebody and go on about your business. If you don't want the hand-me-down that you got, let it go. Like, let that man go so he can stop stalking your sister up close and personal, because it's kind of weird. Because that joke was really weird. I don't know how we feel super comfortable. Like, yeah, I'm close enough so I can just creep into her room. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, ew. That sister was a big old hater. I'm sorry. She needs to go ahead and check her one time. I'm glad Joey told her you need to have a sit down with your sister. They need to, and just be like, listen, if you can't be happy for me, we just gonna have to go our separate ways. Because what? And I agree, Elle said, don't you put my daggone clean laundry on the floor ever in your life, okay? Ever in your life. I was mad at him on the floor trying to fold it up. I'm glad he moved to the table a little bit. I was just like, y'all about to piss me off. You and your OCD about to piss me off because you on the floor trying to fold damn clothes. And she want to dump them all on the floor. Oh,
he was on the floor, Jay, because she on the couch with a dirty underfeet.
Well, no. Oh, Jesus.
Them feet was dirty. She just scrubbing the floor. She don't pick up her feet when she walk. She just slides.
Easton, she ain't got the sock bin to be wearing socks. That's the problem.
For sure.
And no, we is not sharing no daggone socks. I'm not sitting here getting athlete's foot with nobody else in this family. What
weird
nastiness? I barely want to share my shoes with my sister. I'm mad that we all got the same size sometimes and stuff, like, but no, socks, that's like sharing underwear. No, that's too personal.
Definitely not with Monica with the spider's webs.
Ooh.
Oof. I mean, listen, hey, I understand. She left it in the cupboard. Maybe she had a spider that was waiting for her. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't bode well with the context of the story and how it came about. So yeah, I definitely hear that as well. I mean, I haven't found a spider in my crotch yet, but anything can happen.
Not yet.
Hey, I don't want to speak too soon. I'm not talking. The whole law want to test me. I'm all right, thank you. But yeah, no. I definitely thought the story was a bit wild. I think that family's I think their families are a little bit quirky, and I think Joey can work with it. You know what I mean? He comes from probably comes from a family that's probably similar in some certain ways, unfamiliar setup, untraditional setup. I can understand that. So long, again, we spoke about this earlier on about last week about Monica and Joey and how they deal with their family members and boundaries. And so now we're seeing Monica's family boundaries. It could be a little bit of a problem with the sister. Hopefully she's able to put her sister in check and let her sister know, listen, this is as far as you can come. This is as far as you can go. I know I was talking to a guy and passed him down to you like a hand me down, but listen, comments that are negative are not helpful. We have to keep them at check. You know what I'm saying to you? And I have to limit how much space and room you get to have to converse about the guy that I like. I hope she can put those boundaries across. And like I was saying, we're sending it for her, but we haven't seen Joey's family yet. You know what I mean? And how he's going to act, right, with his mother. We don't know yet. So we have to wait and see how that plays out before I say anything, because he might have a very similar setup in terms of lack of boundaries with people and stuff. I would feel very uncomfortable if my family were making jokes about somebody that I was talking to, not dating, but talking to, and then it got past my brother. I'd be so uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I can't be laughing at that kind of joke. That's just, do you know what I'm saying to you? I would be like, look, and unless it was, you know what I'm saying to you, and it doesn't sound like it was fully platonic, because she said that it simmered out. That's what she joked at the end. She said, oh, it simmered out, which means it just didn't go anywhere because my mom was trying, you weren't on it. That's not a case of, oh, I think you'd be great for my sister. He was trying. It's not like you were just friends online talking about games or whatever. He was trying. It didn't go the way you wanted. You didn't like him that way, and you passed him to your sister, which I hear it. But you know what I mean? I just wouldn't be joking about it. I just think that can create some insecurities that I wouldn't want for anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not that way.
Is there something they won't share in that family, from socks to instruments to hand-me-down bows? What will they not share?
Wait, real quick. The nastiest thing was that dude playing the flute. Ain't clean the flute. He just put the lips right on the flute and didn't clean it, didn't sanitize it, nothing. I say, yeah, throw the whole family away. They are all dirty.
Oh my gosh, leave the flute alone. All right, let's move it on. Let's move on from Joe and Monica. I think we've launched them enough. Okay, let's talk. Obviously, Daniel and Taylor, they had a moment. Definitely want to be able to play a clip for them, because in episode 7 they really had a moment that was quite interesting. People were spiraling out here, and let's play a little clip for you guys.
It was the first time that I saw what you looked like. I had no idea.
You don't remember following me on Instagram?
100% I do not. I promise you. I would tell you. Actually, I would have told production.
Okay, so obviously situation between Danielle and Taylor, it was unfortunate that she accused him. I mean, it's not unfortunate, it was intentional. She accused him, but she accused him obviously of following her on Instagram, and that potentially, in a sense, she was actually almost in a sense kind of imputing that he a little bit stalker. Okay, that he stalked her before, and he's like almost followed her onto the show. You know what I mean? Like, and you knew it was me, and you just didn't say anything, almost in a sense, right? I want to get you guys' thoughts and ladies' thoughts on this. I saw the humane side of this, but I also understand that it is, a situation which is not prettiest, right? Because she accused before she actually even did her research, which I think was just the spiraling moment. You know what I mean? She should have just checked on the phone, but she didn't. What's your guys' thoughts? What's your ladies' thoughts on this? How did you see it? How did you find it? What was your perspective?
Stay, Easton. I heard you like it wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and just own up that you was wrong because you was trying to say that man had definitely stalked her and followed her and stuff. You was over here trying to tell us this is what we do in this new culture now. This is what it is and stuff. And you can go ahead and tell me your theory. Go ahead, tell me your theory, Easton.
Okay. To my defense, in 2023 is when Instagram and Meta stopped allowing you to follow, like track your unfollowers and followers on your phone in 2023. So when she was looking through that, in my purview, he definitely looked. She had enough information to know that man had some Christmas photos and stuff like that. Like that's not just some easy things that you just pull out. I'm not saying that she should have jumped to the lens that she did of being like, oh, you stalking me, but for sure, her trying to use the follow and follow app, they haven't been using that in 2024, like when she was looking that up. So that wasn't gonna be a way of figuring it out. But I do apologize for being wrong. I am wrong. I'm glad that she's giving him a chance, but I do think that he did probably follow and unfollow. Like his answers to that wasn't very good at all.
What she was looking up then? What she was sitting there scrolling?
You like old people, you can't, it doesn't track any new stuff, any new information. You don't have it. Just between work and stuff like that, things that I know, you can't track any new followers and unfollowers. If you had the app prior to it, it'll show you who did unfollow and followed you, but it won't show you anybody since they made that new update.
So she just holding on to an app in her phone for over a year just to still keep using it and scrolling.
Maybe so. I mean, it's not over a year ago. It's while they were filming. They filmed at the beginning of this year. They filmed at the beginning of last year.
It's 2024.
So if he did it during, if he followed her a couple of months ago in 2023, so
conveniently it ended at the end of 2023.
She seemed like she was fake scrolling and stuff like that. So it is what it is. I'm glad that they together. They seem happy. I know El Cid is gonna get here and trash me, but I apologize. I was wrong to a degree.
Point of order. He does not have his phone. She does. She could look up his IG name and see that photo. Okay? She could go and see his photo currently on IG and say if that was the photo she saw or not. So whether he followed her, unfollowed her or not, she got that Wi-Fi. She got into IG. Thank you, Netflix, for saying, if you want that phone, bow, here it is. She could have looked him up right then and there. I'm sorry. I don't know how Daniel got over it. I'm happy for him, but I couldn't. I couldn't be that gracious.
I hate that a part of me kind of agrees with Easton. I hate it. And I probably should just shut up, and I should have kept it inside. But the part of me that has to say the truth just won't let me shut up. But I just feel like the way he was answering them questions, he was leaving just a little bit of a doubt. And I've done this too when I'm trying to like be honest, but not be all honest. Because he was like, well, if you find it, I don't remember doing it. Well, I don't remember, it shouldn't be, you know what I mean? Like when people start doing that, that means it's a possibility. He was not definitively saying it could never be me. I could never have followed you. Now, so I think there may be some room that he might have followed her. And I also think that she was not into him. It's like when you at the car lot buying a car, for those that have bought a car or whatever, and you see the car you don't really want, but somebody's trying to like push you to get it, and you're like, yeah, no, and you start finding all these little things with it, or you're trying to, matter of fact, bad example, or you're trying to get the car, but you want to get a better price. So you start finding things that are wrong with it. She's starting to find, she kind of likes him, but she's trying to find little things wrong with him. So she started with that whole, I think he followed me, because I think there's a little bit of part of her that just really don't like him. I think she's not into the short king.
Deacon Davis, do you remember the folks that you follow from months ago?
Yes.
I don't have time for all that foolishness.
Well, you don't.
And
maybe
probably
you don't. Again, don't.
Probably
don't
Daniel. Maybe Daniel doesn't. Maybe Daniel doesn't as well. He's probably sitting there sweating bullets thinking, just tell me you don't like me. I'm too short for you. He's probably used to this type of rejection. Just tell me to go away. Don't put me through all of this. That's what I was getting from him. But I do hear and see where you're from, Sean. And I'm going to try to pull you, from going too far into the eastern side, into the East Coast. But yeah, I don't, all of that, and her apology was weak. All of that firm and vigor, her apology for it was weak to me.
I'm glad that she was wrong. I'm glad, because this is a constant thing that, where we say like the nice guy doesn't he ends up kind of getting cast away. I'm glad that she was wrong, because they gave him enough room for her to feel bad to really give him an honest look and honest try. That's the only thing that really saved him, is that she couldn't confirm. But I think he did follow her. I just don't think he followed her to the show. I don't think that he was doing anything nefarious in that way. I just think that the story makes sense. Like, why would she know about all the Christmas photo with enough detail? Those Christmas photos, like a little too much detail for it to be just a coincidence. Also with Daniel, I mean, it's up in the air with him. I just think that he's a good guy. I like how the relationship is going. I think that her being wrong gave him enough room to really grow and impress her with the kind of character and his intentionality. And this is the only group. These are the only people that I think are going to do well outside of the pods and maybe make it to the end so far.
Here's a fun fact that happens. You have that nice, wonderful pool of photos that come into your Instagram that, because of your algorithm on things you like, i.e. Christmas, things will pop up. It's easy for her to have seen his photos because she likes Christmas things and notice that, oh yeah, and recognize his face to say, oh, I think you followed me and unfollowed me before. Because I'm scared right now, because right now all of this still feels too good to be true, and that I've never actually had a good relationship that or bonded with anybody and connected with somebody so effortlessly that I'm scared right now, because she went in straight panic mode. So there is that where you exploring and you see a whole bunch of photos because you keep liking certain photos and stuff, and you come across people and then you accidentally like, I seen that person before, or I know that person from somewhere. I just don't know where I know them from, or whatnot. So instead of just trying to put it all on Daniel, again, being that she has the great memory of everything that was there and he don't. And I don't know who, Sean, likes to be questioned about something that they're not sure they really did, whether or not they're going to give a good straight answer, like a definite no. Liars give definite no's too. A lot of times. So therefore, just because a person is stuttering through, I'm getting interrogated out of nowhere. Like, what are you talking about? I what? Like, you stuttering through does not necessarily mean that you're lying or withholding some actual information. A definite no is sometimes a lie too. Nah, I ain't never followed you. I ain't never did nothing like that. Yeah, but I conveniently bought you the same daggone Christmas stocking that I seen on your page, but nah, I ain't never seen it. So yeah, don't get confused about people that don't like to be questioned or whatever, just because you're interrogating me right now. I'm not used to being interrogated. I'm being honest with you and stuff, and I don't think I followed you. I don't think I did that. But if I did, okay, I did.
I hear you, Jay. I'm not locked in either way, by the way. I just feel like there's just a little bit of truth, because I guess it's the skeptic in me that we've just seen people show out on Love is Blind so many times, and then after the fact, something little comes out. We get down to the reunion, and he was like, "Yeah, you know what? I actually realized I did follow her like in 1999. I sure did." So I guess I'm just like leaving that little bit of room for it, but I'm not like, oh, it's 100% he did it. I just feel like there's just a little something in my gut that says, he might have followed her. I don't think like it's some big plot. Like, what's the girl, Lydia from seasons ago, that she followed the guy, and got on the show and da 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 da. Like that, I don't think it's that like, like there's some big plot. I do think there's a chance he might have a chance, but I'm willing to be wrong about it.
I mean, it's a complicated situation, right, with social media because, in general, something happened to me today, which is really interesting, right? And permit me, I apologize to the person actually because I was wrong, right? So I actually moved to somebody a couple of months ago, and then communication stopped because of me. I just wasn't in this place to be able to have communications like that. I saw the person today. I said, that girl is fire. Who is that? Went to move to her a second time, and I was like, oh my God, I've already moved to that girl already. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, I didn't even realize that I had moved to the person already. Move to the person means chat the person up. I didn't even realize. And if that's in person, I can imagine how even on social media, something can happen where, let's say, for instance, on your follow page, on your, the whatever page, the explore page, whatever, right? Sometimes, like, if you love the same things, that person can come up a few times on your explore page. Not only will they come up on your explore page, they actually come up on your feed. So even if you don't follow them, they can come up on your feed like you're following them. So it can be easy to see someone in your actual feed that you're going through, right? And think that you're actually following them. Because sometimes I'm going, who is this person? Why is their thing coming? And I realize I'm not even following them, but they've presented it like I'm following them. It's not, I'm not following them. It's just that they're on your feed. So if you see them enough times, what can happen is that you can almost assume that, okay, I'm following this person, what's going on? And it could be that, you remember something, details about them. Because the details were kind of almost specific, even though she was wrong. I think it was kind of specific. I kind of see what she was kind of going with it. So it honestly could be a mistake, which is why I thought to herself, she should have taken her time with the situation first before spiraling. Done her investigation first, in secret if she wanted to do that, before spiraling. But she went straight to the accusation before actually anything, which is why we're now we're looking at going, did she actually really fancy him? Because had this been a guy who was 6 foot, well, I don't know, say 6 foot. Let me say a guy that she thought was aesthetically pleasing for her, the way she wanted it to be, her perfect type, would she have been questioning it this way? She might have just said, oh, I think I follow you, or you follow me. It would have been a light thing, would have moved past it probably, more than likely. You know what I'm saying to you? So I think that there's they can cause on both sides. It could be also that he follows her. I follow some people. In fact, a girl, actually, someone watched the live that we did the other day and said to me, I unfollowed them in the chat. And I said, I didn't even know I unfollowed you. I didn't even realize. And then she messaged me saying, no, you haven't unfollowed me, my bad. So look, you see what I'm saying to you? It can happen so easy that you think someone's following you or unfollowing you in this social media age because you are presented with so much information that tends to happen to you that you're consuming so much you don't realize. You know what I'm saying to you? It's almost like you see someone outside and you're like, oh my God, like, I know that person. And you're not sure where you can plant that person. More than likely, you've probably seen that person on social media and you've seen them somewhere, but you can't pick where they are from. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Someone said that he brought up the social media handles. He did in that episode in the pod. But did he get her social media correctly? Did he guess it right or anything like that? I don't know.
No, he asked her and she told him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I will say this much. This is my working theory. So I think he asked her for her handle so he could confirm that he did in fact guess what she looked like, because he did follow her and then unfollow her. I think that happened. I think, Easton, you brought that theory up last time. I think that's exactly what happened. I also think that Daniel doesn't have any prospects. So even before he confirmed what she looked like, he was already going to say yes. He doesn't have the benefit of options. He's not Ben, okay? He mentioned his height way too many times for me to ever think that he really had, a roster like that. No. So he was already going to pick her. The fact that she's pretty, that's just a cherry on top. He was going to pick her anyways. So there's that. I think Taylor is not sexually attracted to him. I think she likes him as a person. I don't think she's sexually attracted to him. You could tell that from that little grimace that she was given when they first met. Like, she just looked like, oh, I picked him. Okay. And then she was trying to figure out a reason to get rid of him. That blew up in her face. So then it's like, okay, well, I got to go tough this out. And then what really made her stick around was when the families got involved. I've never, ever seen this before where both sets of in-laws meet each other in at the same time. I've never seen that. I'm talking before the wedding. I've never seen that happen.
Yeah. They did that in earlier seasons.
They did? I don't remember them doing that.
Not a lot.
Okay. Because I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is really interesting. And I don't know if you clocked this or not. Elsa, you probably did. Like these people got money. Because I remember Taylor's mother, she said, "Oh, well, we renovated up both of our homes to make them bigger for our future grandkids after they retired." Oh, you got money. And then Daniel's family, I'm looking at their surroundings and I'm seeing a wall of glass. These people got money for real. Okay. So we're looking at two upper middle class families in Minnesota. I don't know where exactly. They pretty much have the same kind of life. They have the same lifestyle. The in-laws like each other. This is a done deal. I don't think Taylor is gonna be able to get out of this unless she can produce a reason where Daniel's just like a freak of nature. That's not gonna happen. So this is a done deal. I think they're probably one of the two, maybe three couples who actually makes it through to the end. That family's gonna make sure of it.
You know, I actually thought that her crash out was really good for their relationship. Not that she crashed out, but I think sometimes as women, we know when someone, and I'm sure the married people in the chat can tell you this, but you know when you have the person you should marry when they're patient with you and when they're kind with you and when they're forgiving. I'm not going to get into whether she likes him or not, or whether that was just more self-sabotaging on her end, because I'm not sure. But what I do think is that his level of kindness and understanding and even willingness to be like, if this was something, even if I did do it, if this is a problem for you, I understand that too, really made her a lot closer to him. And I think it was good for them. I think it was good for them and good for her, because I think she needed to know if he was a patient man. And when she said, "I'm just so happy that I have such a patient man," I'm like, that's how you know. That's how you know. And then the fact that like they seem equally yoked and their families seem, both two-parent homes, families that are well off. They definitely seem like they have the makings of what a relationship is supposed to be. And so, yeah, and then her confidence about him. I know some of y'all, not all of y'all, are saying that she may not like him, but her confidence to really work with that mama of hers, because that mama was pissed off that she was getting left out of the tea. She wasn't really mad. She just didn't want to be left out. I know everybody know the mama who just don't want to be left out. The mama just didn't want to be skipping those steps, okay? And she was very strong, and convicted with how she feels with her mom. And I think her conviction actually, persuaded the mom. And so yeah, I think they were, honestly, this couple reinforced the idea that quality is not boring. I watched their entire scene, and y'all know I miss Skip a lot. I didn't even skip nothing. I was just so interested in their dynamic, in the parents meeting. So quality relationships are not boring. I wish there was more of this. This was actually refreshing, to be honest. I didn't skip a single part of their scene. So I wanted to say that.
I agree with you, Seaway, on that. And especially if I feel like if Daniel was anybody else like David or Ben or something like this, we would be looking at a different situation right now. But being that he was very cool, calm, and collected, and the way he handled it, he assured her in every way, like, if you need to look at this, here's my handle. I'm okay with the decision that you make after this, regardless of the fact. It was nice to know you, get to know you, whatever the case may be. The way that his energy presents, this is what we be saying when we kind of like say we want somebody secure, that makes us feel secure, that we feel comfortable even when we're wrong. We can be like, you know what, I was wrong because you didn't flip out on me. I can chill out and get my stuff back together. And so that's made her get back together. And I think she's been just dealing with people that has been a little bit more unstable in her past. That's why she was on a panic in the first freaking place. And like she says, I'm the CEO of overthinking. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole overthinkers club over here, and I'm the CEO of it and stuff. And so it's just she just needs somebody to get her out of her head. As soon as she gets to thinking too long, you sitting there pondering too much, Mom. Come on, come back to reality, bring you back in. And Daniel does a great job of that for her. So like they're gonna be a couple that is going to be fine and they'll make it in time, unless some crazy money issues. That I think that would be there. more issues later on in life. But like right now, they're very good. They have great conversation on what they want out of life and going forward, kids and all those things. So once they got past that little hiccup, they're fine. They're fine.
I think his parents really did help the situation. I loved how his mom told her parents basically, at some point we got to let our adult children be adults. At some point they've got to make their own decisions, and we've just got to support them and be there for them. The other thing was his dad made a point, and I thought that's what you were going to say, Dahlia, when the dad complimented him about being such a soft place for her to land, knowing how firm he is as a person.
Yes.
I was like, Dad, what do we have to uncover here? But Dad did choke up, saying kind of like, you've done good, son. You've really done good. I thought, as you said, people may find it boring, but it was wonderful. The entire montage with both parents separately and together. And I did clock Taylor, did say she had a little Lauren tendency. She said she wasn't as conservative as before, and they have agreed to be conservative in that department. But I love the parents kind of helping the other parent work through it, because that's the hardest thing. You don't know what family people are coming from. Y'all are essentially strangers.
I think he was saying, and Elsa, you could correct me if I'm wrong, that she's really tough. And maybe she was raised, to be tough. I don't know if that's what he was saying, but she reminds me that she's a little guarded, and that he was really happy that she was able to find a nice, kind man that would kind of help, balance that out. I'm not sure where she got that from, but he seemed really happy that he was very kind and seems to be kind-hearted. So.
Listen, I hope there's wrongness in it, and wrongness is not a word. I'm aware. I really do, and I don't want Jay to be upset at me, so I'm just gonna capitulate.
Too late.
How many ACT what is it SAT words you gonna use in one sentence?
He trying to help the
as
kids
many
out.
as you would like me to.
He
As
trying to
many
help
as you
the
would
kids
like me
out. Just
to.
make it this year. Dr. Umar School of nothing.
Don't you dare compare me to that man.
That's my favorite human on this earth.
Oh God,
Celebrity human.
that says more about you than it does
then.
about him, because that man is got more things wrong than he got right. But nevertheless, I just want to put it out there into the zeitgeist. Here's another one for you. That I am more than willing to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, actually, because we need somebody to root for. But I don't know what it is. It's just like I kind of feel like, there's something looming. But if I'm wrong, I will gladly admit it. I want to be. I'm not as invested. I know, Jay, you seem like you got all your I's dotted and T's crossed. So I support you. But there's something that just feel like it might not be right. That's all.
John, you
Oh,
are
it's
right.
only Jay you support. I'll keep tabs. It's only Jay you
hold on.
support.
Elsie,
Okay.
hold on. Sean, you were wrong, because you're gonna keep dropping these daggone words without a definition. Okay, I'm getting sick of this.
I thought I was giving context clues. I'm sorry.
I'm sick of this shit.
You're getting annoyed with me because you don't know what to fight with me about. You're like, I want to fight you, but what the hell are you talking about? That's my trick. That's my dark arts.
On big words, me, huh?
And when Jay isn't feeling 100%, Deacon, come on now.
I'm trying. I just can't say, okay, I'm wrong yet, because we haven't seen everything all the way.
We'll show you where you're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay.
We're going to show you.
All right.
Y'all are tripping.
She's speaking French again.
Y'all are tripping.
Okay, Jay, you're not gonna have my back when we show him that he's wrong. Okay.
I don't know.
I got it.
I don't know. I don't always show Sean when he's wrong. Sean sometimes shows himself.
Have mercies. But just wanted to show you this little viewpoint here. I was watching it and I remember this. I always talk about people's body language. I have never seen a couple intertwined with legs like this before. These people they must love each other, because the legs are in each other's space. Let's play a little clip here.
It's not even just the legs. They almost sitting on top of each other, baby.
They are involved.
Wait, look at her parents. Go back to her parents. Look how the mama's sitting and look how the pappy's sitting.
The dad made sure his leg is definitely the other side of the. He don't want to be looking at that wife. Hold on, let me see if I get a clip.
Mama's ready to fight, Sean. Mama ready to jump and fight.
Yeah, she said y'all got to get her past her first.
And
Daddy
the-
said it was
and-
easy.
And the daddy just is thankful that somebody's about to take
But look,
her off
he's
the
doing it
hands.
too.
Mm-hmm.
The dad. Look at the legs. Very similar.
They are literally crossed over. Wow.
That's sweet. I didn't even notice that.
That is so.
That is so
His
powerful.
gonads must be crunched up though, because
I wonder how nothing must be crunched up, Lord Jesus.
That's how he got a sensitive son.
I used the word. Y'all know what that meant.
Leave him alone.
I said his gonads are in trouble, boy.
That's how
That
he
is
got a sensitive
hilarious.
son. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Look,
let me try
I'm a
to get
little
out.
annoyed by all this love across the room. She like,
Yeah, she don't like that. Okay, he changed legs because his leg was the other side before. They're just
Yeah,
on
he's like,
separate
let me
chairs, so
lean
they
in
can't
a
really
little
see.
bit.
No, he
his
just
leg was the
happy.
other side
But
before.
that mama is sitting with her legs ready. She
in the spread.
She is.
Yeah,
She is.
yeah.
Yeah. She said she in the beef. She said, "Listen, she got that stance. Like, play with me if you want, but no, I handle business."
I'm telling you,
said,
that
what is y'all on? All of this lovey-dovey nonsense. What is y'all on?
the
This love
dad
thing
just,
is too much.
the dad just looking like, please don't mess this up. I'm trying to take her off my payroll, make sure I don't have to spend no more money on taking care of her. He don't want nobody to mess this thing up.
Didn't Mama say we got to fight over time with the kids and grandkids? Mama said we already gonna fight.
Mama doing too much. That's probably why she's got the anxious attachment, because her mum's just too much. Mum probably a little bit of a helicopter mum and just all over Taylor a little bit too much, so she can't even trust her own voice. So,
But
I'll drop a
she
video about
was
that
afraid
later.
to tell her. She was like, that's the one that they're gonna have to work on. So
Yeah, she gonna need to. That's what Taylor needs to work on. It's not even the mum. Taylor needs to work on it, because the mum can do whatever she wants, but Taylor needs to work on developing those boundaries now, so that it doesn't become an issue. You know what I mean? Because your marriage can be ruined by this mum who thinks she's just doing the best thing for you, but she's actually trying to control your life and doesn't realize she's controlling your life. So, until Taylor decides to say, "Listen, mum, it's my life. I'm gonna do what I need to do." She just needs to set that boundary. You know what I mean? I know that because that anxious attachment is about trying to prove that you're worthy, and if you're trying to prove that to your mum, and your mum's gonna keep on having investment in your relationship, it's gonna just be very difficult. You know what I'm saying? She just needs to set that mum right. You know what I'm saying? She like in that space. Better
You know
yet,
what,
tell your
cousin?
dad so your dad can set straight. Yeah, go
I
for it.
think that Daniel's mom is going to help out a lot in that regard, because notice how when her mom was talking real loud, she made sure to step up and say, "Hey, look, my son, he's a good guy. He's gonna take care of her." Da 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 da. And she basically got Taylor's mom to back down a little bit about not being involved. I think that if Taylor developed a good relationship with Daniel's mom, she could probably do that. Give enough strength to be able to like stand on her own 2 feet. Yeah.
what's gonna happen is the two moms gonna have their own relationship, and then Taylor gonna be free to be on her own 2 feet.
Ooh, that works too.
Daniel Mama ready to clock that she gotta pull Taylor's mom in check.
Yeah. But there's respect there.
Let's hope she does that, because y'all put a lot of faith in Taylor's in Fingy's mum, that she gonna be able to stand in the way of the hurricane. But when that hurricane's been hurricaning for a long time, we'll see. You know what I mean?
It'll be fine if the kids come along. Then when that's when they're gonna get fighting already. So until they get them babies.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah. That's. I mean, listen, I'm saying a lot. It's probably a lot more worse than that. It's probably much better than I'm actually making it out to be. It's more precautionary. It's not to say that that's necessarily going to be the maddest case. Maybe her mum just says one or two things too much, but not necessarily the craziest person. So, I wish them luck, because actually, I think it's really good to see them on the camera. And definitely, I'll break down a few more videos over the course of the week as well, because it's actually a really great picture of secure attachment. Most of the time when we see the shows, we don't see people who have a secure attachment. We see people who have an insecure attachment. So to see the way Daniel handled, because I said it myself, if I got accused the way she accused me, I would have told her, "Listen, you're crazy and you're mad. Why did you not go and check it first before accusing me?" I'd have cussed her out. But Daniel had the ability to be able to listen to her, to reassure her. He even put his hands across the table, because my hands will not be coming across the table. I can tell you that for free, because you're accusing me of being a stalker. You know, I take that personally. But I had to
Not
look
you
at it
crashing out,
my own
Kojo. You
personal.
don't do that. You don't crash out. No, you
No,
don't.
no, but I'm not gonna say it. But I guess it is a crash out, and you can say that. But it's like, I don't like being accused.
I'm being
But then that's part of
facetious,
my
by the
insecure
way.
attachment.
Facetious and petty with you.
Yeah, no, I know. But, yeah.
Back
I
to
mean,
back
listen,
to math.
but it's real. But it's real though. I probably would have a little bit of a. You can call it a bit of a crash. I wouldn't say that. But it's like my insecure attachment would definitely play a role. And that, as soon as I watched it, I said, "Oh my god, like that's." I know how I'd have handled that, and that was incorrect. The way he handled it was a perfect demonstration of how to handle a situation like that. Like, it's not about your ego. If you notice, he never made it about himself. He actually always made it about her and reassuring her in that moment. So when I watched it, I was like, this, because you rarely get to see it on TV, how someone who's secure handles a situation like this. You normally see, as I think Jay was pointing out, if it had been someone else, or anybody on the cast, it would have gone differently, because they don't have that attachment style. So their conflict resolution would have not handled that way. They would have definitely told her, you're crashing out. And she would have said sorry, but it would have been maybe a sour kind of, situation a little bit, But that was a great handle in terms of handling someone who's spiraling, that you're just reassuring them, you're propping them up, you're letting them know that it's okay, it's still safe to be in that environment, and I'm not holding it against you. I would have cussed you out, but now I've learned. So thank you very much, Daniel. I've learned something, a better way of doing things. Me too. I want to cross my leg with my partner too. Okay, I want to be on their skin.
No, I would have been like, you better be real sure, baby girl. You accusing me of this. Whatever you find in that phone, you better find it, or else I'm gone. You better be real sure with this, accusations. I wouldn't have cussed the person out, but that would have been it. I probably would have aided them into spiraling further, because I would have been sitting there like real strong, like, don't be accusing me of stuff, and you ain't got no evidence.
You know what though, Kojo? Really quick, you brought up a good point here. I've noticed with this season, I feel like most of the most of the cast members that we saw, they actually had pretty happy, healthy, well-adjusted families for the most part. I mean, they may be a hot mess, but I don't think that we can really blame it on their childhoods like that. It seems to me, at least, I would say for maybe like 60 to 70% of the cast, they seem like they had pretty nice childhoods, which is rare.
We ain't seen most of them.
You know what it is?
Well, from how they
That's what we
described
call
it, yeah.
We call that the white brush. You see, they white people, listen, Caucasoids, they know exactly how to paint over a picture to make it look very, you know what I'm saying to you? It's like when we say about Africa and the corruption, Africa is very nasty with the corruption because it's very out there. But white folk in the Western world know how to make corruption look beautiful. It's just the way they paint over it. But their kids are a direct reflection of how trash some of the behaviors are from the parents themselves. It just, we don't get to see that oftentimes. You know what I'm saying to you? But I do hear you saying it doesn't look the same. You know what I mean? Like you want to say, like, if they were black, like for instance, if Taylor's parents were black, we'd have been looking at the mama like, look where she's sitting. You know she don't like that woman. You know what I mean? Like we'd have been straight on it, but it's a cultural thing, yeah. So I think we painted the brush over a little bit, like to see it, but you know what I'm saying? But I think it's because also there may be a good point in what you're saying though. A lot of people seem a bit more anxious in there, because anxious people can be a little bit have their own way of doing things too. I know we always want avoidant people, but anxious people have their way of doing things, as you saw with Taylor herself and stuff. So yeah, no, there's a good point there though. It's good to see the families and stuff. But I definitely think Daniel's and that was very nice to watch. I think it was good to see that.
If we're looking at Taylor's parents, you could equate them to possibly just a little bit.
Tim?
The vocal, yes, Tim's parents.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Mom
too,
more vocal.
Whoa.
Mom is sitting more posturing. Mom is the one you got to worry about. Dominant. Me. Dad not saying too much.
Well, he was sick, so.
He ain't sick enough. He on camera, okay?
Wow.
And to Elson's point, he made it very clear, I'm not the one to worry about. So that's the dynamic.
He was chill.
Okay.
The point is, if we were equating it, if we're looking at the two different dynamics, it didn't seem as abrasive to us because it isn't, Tim's family, but it's the same dynamic.
Maybe it just didn't seem abrasive to me because I'm used to seeing that living in Texas from the time that I did too. or whatever in that dynamic with that culture or whatnot. Like,
Yeah, this is a different kind of white.
No, it's not. It's not even a different kind of white. It's just that a lot of times it's that old tradition of he go bring home the bacon, she cook it. So she's running whatever goes on in the house. So when it comes to the kids and all that, she still gets to dictate and have all the say on that stuff. So everything is kind of like ran through mom a lot of times with certain people in that side or whatever. Yes, African as a 10, it's in all cultures, but a lot of times when you start just watching certain cultures, you start noticing in certain areas too. So I feel like in country areas, that's the kind of dynamic that you do get a lot of times is, the dad is doing a lot of things, but big mama is big mama of the house.
Then it seemed like is Taylor the last kid, because they've been married for 50 years, whereas Daniel's parents, they say they've been married for 34 years. So there's always that dynamic. Mama been around longer. And this is her baby girl. This could be the last one to leave the nest.
A lot to unpack.
I love your point though, Kojo, because sometimes we prop up this whiteness and we forget they've had centuries of free labor and privilege. So yeah, they're gonna show up very much different. They're gonna show up differently. They're gonna, everything's gonna look just so. They're gonna have beautiful homes, beautiful gowns, but they ought to, because free labor, centuries of it, laws that propped up and helped them to, redlining. Sorry, I hate to get political, but the times we're in, I'm not gonna be propping them up on no pedestal. They ought to have it and then some.
Hey, well, I'm so glad I'm in the UK, because if they collect you, Sean, and send you back where you need to come from, don't call me, because I ain't come to save you.
Listen, my family's been here for centuries, well documented. They're gonna send me back to where? If they send me back anywhere, they better give me my 40 acres and a mule I've been promised.
Hello.
On both sides.
Oh,
please don't activate the deacon. Please don't activate the deacon.
I want them to. Matter of fact, I wish they would come collect me.
John.
One man nice shot you in Ghana, Sean. Don't worry, Sean.
John, he activated you because you activated him earlier. Don't fall for it. Don't crash out.
I wanted to talk about that.
I'm not activated.
I'm happy. I'm happy to discuss that. I want him to come collect me, boy.
It wasn't on purpose. I was being funny. I was being funny with him. No, I definitely hear what you're saying. though. You're right in that respect. They have different cultures and stuff like that. They've had different upbringings in that respect over the generations. So you're definitely right about that as well. Okay, let's move it along, because we got one last couple. Am I correct? Virginia and Devin as well, because the prenup conversation happened, but he also met with their families as well. Actually, to be fair, their family seemed pretty cool as well. His family is a very Christian orientated family, and they were asking questions of her, when they wanted to have kids. That was a sister. So they seem pretty decent. I can't lie to you. He obviously comes from a mixed background as well. So it seemed very decent, very wholesome. It seemed like,
Did we watch the same thing?
I mean, they didn't seem that bad. Was it that bad?
What? Did we?
You know what? I might skip past them a little bit. I might skip past them. They're seeing the family, because you know what? I was watching them, but I focused more on other couples a little bit more. So maybe that's why. After I saw the prenuptials, I ain't really watched them properly the same. So maybe that's why I didn't focus on them 100%.
I'm lost.
Daddy clocked it. He said this ain't your woman. This ain't it.
What? What you mean?
Ethan, you got to be kidding me.
The daddy clocked it. The daddy and they know they son. They know what I tell y'all about the pink slips in the Carfax. I want to know what your track record. Who handled you before we got to here? He knew they knew that Devin, you're not equipped for this type of car. Virginia, extremely beautiful, extremely educated, lots of good things, lots of great things to say. I appreciate her so much for the feminine experience that she gave him in terms of how she delivered the prenuptial agreement part, because she could have ate at his ego. She could have been like, really, bro, you ain't got enough money with that fake ruby pendant on your chain. But She did. She left that boy. She said, because if you have a basketball empire, the chances of having a basketball empire is the chances of me growing wings and flying out of space. But hey, I appreciate her being really nice. She clocked the apartment. She's I can tell that she's dated some very well-to-do people in her lifetime. I can tell it. Her issue is again, let me not be critical. Let me just get back on Devin. Devin doesn't have the capabilities or the criteria to be with Virginia. He don't have the financial aspect, which is the biggest one for her to feel secure. And so that's why she got the prenup thing. She clocked his apartment, and even he was getting a tad bit insecure when he clocked her townhome. He was like, and then when they started talking about the finances, about how I got just a little bit of debt, I got medical bills, this, that, and the third. He was getting a little insecure, but she did a really good job and kept her a really feminine frame of reassuring that it wasn't going to be an issue, although it is an issue. All I'm saying is I'm wondering why she ain't been able to keep these people that she has been dated in the past, because she's been a dancer, she's super well educated, this, that, and the third, and I'm not trying to tear her down, but something ain't adding. The 1 + 1 ain't equal 2 with Virginia, and that's what we need to get to. Because Devin, I think he is a great guy, but I think Virginia, as soon as she saw his living arrangements and him starting to talk about stuff, she's like, yeah, let me go ahead and get this prenup down and get this thing going.
So Devin with the ibuprofen addiction is a good guy. Oh, okay. All right. If you don't stop it, oh my days. Oh, my face is too puffy for this. Anywho, I'm not mad at her in this. She wants a prenup. Protect yourself, protect your peace, and protect your money from this man trying to pay off his student loan, his medical bills, and his shoe addiction outside of the ibuprofen that does not exist. Okay, there's no such thing as an ibuprofen addiction, but outside of all of that, protect yourself or whatever. And it's puzzling that everybody is looking at this as, oh, she's looking for an out. No, it's the same reason you get insurance in the first place. You just protecting yourself of the what if. You got to get car insurance, you get medical insurance, you get all these other things. So prenup is just an insurance plan on in case something happens. So therefore, y'all can sit there and negotiate how y'all want it to be broken down or whatever. It is not a bad idea. So the sister putting a bad seed in his head. Why? Because what if he does magically does get his industry and all this stuff like that? You're gonna want him to be protected. You're not gonna want her to get anything and walk away with half of his stuff or whatever, and everything makes no sense. I don't agree with you on the dad part or whatever. I think the dad was just super quiet or whatever. I think the dad is kind of like one of those dads that just kind of like leave me out of it. You making your decisions at this point. Just do whatever you gonna do or whatever. I'm just here because so I don't get fined, but this dude, like, you got a lot going on, and the fact that you look some type of way when she said prenup after you just got through telling her that you got all these bills, and yeah, we should go 50-50 on it. You gonna help because that's what a marriage is about, right? Helping me pay my bills off, right? Like, I didn't help you make these bills, bro. Like, okay, so I give her power to sit there and say, yeah, I'm willing to help you pay some of your bills and all that stuff and get you back on track. I'm not mad at her for being invested into her relationship like that, or even mad about going 50-50 on bills and however they break down the household responsibilities. I'm not mad at none of that stuff. But the fact that he's sitting here looking for somebody to finance, that's what it was definitely giving me. Like, he looking for somebody to finance his debt is wild to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have a plan on how you gonna get that out the way yourself. You shouldn't be sitting here waiting for me to sit there and be like, I can help you pay off some of this stuff. Especially when you got a shoe addiction.
I think those things both don't add up, Jay. I think that
what don't add up? What's the things?
I don't think that him wanting somebody to pay off his debt or anything like that. If he's saying what is true, one, we don't know Virginia's financial situation because she didn't say much of anything. She was very intentful in listening, which again goes to her overall aura of her just listening and not really saying much. But to have a master's and a doctorate, that costs a lot of money. Who's saying that she's paid it off in full? We don't know what kind of again, she says she's in HR. We don't know what level and how far her salary has gotten to. We don't know much about her finances.
But what we do know is what was said. And what was said is, I'll help you pay your stuff off or whatever. He didn't say we can figure out how we gonna pay this off. It wasn't no we like y'all like to speak up here all the time or whatever. It was looking at her while she sat there and said, it's cool, I'll help you get your stuff back in order.
She never said he would get it back in order. She was just saying that she would help supplement him as many people do. I mean, granted, these are a different day and age.
Supplement and help. You just want to change the words, but it's mean the same thing. I'm fronting your bill.
No, I don't think this is any different conversation as if it was a man who was wondering about what kind of debt, if it was credit card debt or student loan debt or anything like that. I think these are great conversations to have, but this is also a different day and age where women are making more money, enrolled in schools and stuff like that. And so now we're starting to see it on the other end, and we're like, oh, and a lot of more women are like, this makes a lot of sense. Let's go ahead and do a prenup. Whereas back in the day, it was kind of frowned upon, or it was a point of contention for relationships to bring out a prenup.
Yeah, what that still has to do with her sitting here saying, I'm gonna front the bill, and he not sitting there saying, no, it's okay, sis, I got my thing. I'm making my payments.
Because it's never been like that. It's never been.
She said she was financially responsible. She's good with the finances. She don't have no problem with it. That's what she said. So we don't have to worry about what's going on in her pockets. Y'all, that man pocket watching like you pocket watching her. Like, bruh, he need a pocket watch himself. You want to buy shoes every 2 to 3 months or whatever, or twice a month or whatever he said he want to do, but you still got your student loans and a medical bill that you got. You better go pawn them shoes and go pay off them bills.
All right.
Listen, send Virginia my way. I'll sign the prenup. I'll sign the post-nup. I'll sign the pre to the prenup. Whatever nup she want me to sign, I'm going to sign it. I'm down for it. I love me some Virginia. I love her attitude, her energy. Sign me up.
I don't know, Jay. I mean, I didn't... Listening to them talk, I agree with you. I feel like he's bad with money, clearly. I mean, we're looking at about 10 grand worth of shoes while he's talking about he's in debt. But at the same time, he also didn't force the conversation. He didn't tell her what she needed to do. She's the one who brought up going 50-50 and helping pay towards the bills. I didn't get the impression, correct me if I'm wrong here, I did not get the impression that he was looking to her to help him in that space. And also, I feel like when you are getting married, what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. So I do think the default expectation should be that we're going to pool our money together to help pay down debt, unless you specifically say otherwise. And it's cool if you don't want to do that, but that needs to be stated before y'all decide that y'all going to sign on the dotted line.
I can't correct you because you got the impression, and that's going to be your impression. So I can't correct nobody's impression of what they got. But she sat there and said, we're going to have separate bank accounts. That man gave a look like, what? I ain't got no access to your money. She said prenup. He gave another hesitation look like, I ain't got no access to your money. So y'all, you get the impression that you want, and I got the impression that I want. So there it is.
I'm okay to be corrected. I didn't. That's not how it looked on the screen to me. I mean, maybe conversations were had off screen about the kind of finances that they have. I don't freaking know.
Can I ask another question? Why every time black men are on this screen, they're broke? I'm just tired of this. I'm just tired of this representation. Every single time black men are on the screen, they're broke. And then if they're not broke, they're acting like Mr. What the hell?
Tyler?
No, he was broke too. The one that told the fiance he didn't want her. Y'all know who I'm talking about. No,
SK.
not Chris. No, not SK.
Clay?
Who you say?
Clay.
Clay. Yeah, then they acting a fool like Clay. But it's just, I'm just so tired. I want to see equally yoked
Black men don't need to be on these shows. You're gonna get ripped.
Brett and Tiffany. Let's not.
Yeah, like Brett and Tiffany. Like, why can't we get more Brett and Tiffany?
They're older. I don't think you're gonna find any. Like, I would. There's no point in going on a show like that if you're like a like lower in your 20s, mid 20s, early 30s type of person.
That's a good point.
It's an age thing. By the time Brett was in the Pacific Northwest, so there's not a lot of Black people. This is probably more of a way of like connecting him with somebody who he wanted to intentionally date. If I was somebody who's attractive, has the financial means, I have no reason to be on the show, which goes to my point. If I see somebody who doesn't look like they need to be on the show, most more times than none, they don't need to be on the show. So that's why I'm wondering about Virginia. Because
I mean, I actually did think that, Easton. I was looking at Virginia. I was like, Virginia is stunning. She's demure. She's soft spoken. She's, I mean, she has a good job. Only thing I can think of is the fact that it's hard as a Black person, maybe, or a Black woman dating in Minnesota. So she wanted to, I don't know.
She said
there's always beautiful women on these shows.
Exactly.
She said the men she chose were terrible to her, that they were mean to her, or something to that effect, didn't she?
She was a dancer. She was a for a sports team. I'm telling you, she's used to top tier guys, but she probably, it might be either she's picking the wrong ones that aren't willing to commit, or she might be doing something more time.
Well, that's all of us. We don't need a case study on somebody that's struggling through dating. I mean,
look, y'all can say there's a lot of beautiful women on the thing. I'm saying Virginia is in the top out of all the top people that are on Love Is Blind. Let's keep it 100. She's probably in the top 2 or 3.
I'd agree.
Let's just keep it a buck.
She's extraordinarily pretty. I mean, I was actually
top 5 and educated. She has everything.
100%.
And how she talked to him, I said, "Oh, you well trained. You like."
I don't know why y'all feel like. I don't know why y'all feel like being very beautiful allows you easier access to a whole bunch of stuff. It actually allows you a lot of easier access to a whole bunch of demons and predators and stuff like that just likes to prey on you because you're a very beautiful woman. It does not sit here and equate to that you're going to just get this great person because you're so beautiful and all this stuff like that. I don't know why y'all think being very beautiful is very easy for women.
Well, yeah, no, it's not. Well, it's not y'all. That's more Easton. I understand what you're saying, Jay. You sometimes when you're really pretty and don't add a booty to it, you're gonna have to sift through a whole lot of people, way more people than maybe someone with less options sifts through, and sometimes it does make it complicated. But we're gonna leave that aside because that's a whole side note. What I find to be unfortunate is just the fact that it just seems like for the Black women, especially on the show, it's hard to find someone that's equally yoked. I'm pretty sure that what's this guy, whatever his name is. I don't remember none of these people's names.
Devin.
I'm sure Devin is a great person and he's on his way. But for Miss Virginia, they're just not at the same place in life. And I also noticed his hesitation, not just about the prenup, because everyone can notice that, but when she said about the separate accounts, very hesitant. And then the sister also was very hesitant about Virginia, basically, and he had to basically be like, no, I'm okay with the prenup. The sister was just, she's like, nah, like, you're not ready, this ain't it. Yeah, like, this ain't it, you're not ready for prime time.
But let's not.
Hold on.
Oh, you go, Sid.
Yeah. The reason why I was looking kind of sideways with Kojo was the sister was a little too harsh on Virginia. She was going, to me, a little too going in. So, and how old are you? So when are y'all gonna have kids? And it was like, this is something that the couple needs to decide. And why are you so concerned with her reproductive capacity when clearly you're in a family where your mom adopted children as well? That was a little disconnected for me when the sister was going in like that. Plus the prenup. I mean, sister, stay out of their finances. The only thing I could kind of say with that, yes, he did look twisted. Does he want access to his finances? Or did he grow up in a household where the husband and wife, his mom and dad, have one account? I don't know. I need to know a little bit more information, but he did kind of look sideways. He didn't ask her to pay his bills, but he did ask 50-50. But however they run their household, like Daddy said, if you like it, I love it. If this is what you think is for you, I love it. But the demeanor, I agree with you. They're not in the right space. Devin is 28. She is 30, 32, 35?
34.
Right. They're not in the same space. So while I agree with you, C-Way, the black men coming up in this show, but if the black man coming up in this show and he had the finances, he wouldn't be on this show. Technically.
Bingo.
He would have found a lady like Virginia out there and wouldn't have to mess with Love is Blind. So it's the catch-22 of it all. How is it that a beautiful young lady like Virginia has so much going for her, she's resorting to dating on Love is Blind?
She said it herself that she's picked terrible men in the past. So I'm gonna take her word for it since we're taking everybody's word for something. So I'll put her on that end. But I do want to cut Devin some slack, because let's not be blind to the idea or just the facts that for Black people, we are a little bit more fiscally uneducated, and we're not as well versed in topics of let alone bank accounts and having joint accounts and that kind of stuff set up. But prenup, I mean, most people aren't even discussing that. And even when people are discussing it, it's typically, just because how the patriarchy is set up, where the man is like trying to protect his assets in the case that, he might lose something or a divorce. And so the common argument in that is, well, people will say, hey, are you just looking for the end, or are you already thinking that we're going to break up or something bad is going to happen? And so again, we're getting an opportunity to see how it looks on the other side when, men have probably been dealing with this for years, but now you're starting to see, the women are outpacing and doing extremely well. And so these conversations are coming up and everybody seems to be in agreement that this should happen, when in years it hasn't been like that.
Listen, I'm with you as far as the prenup thing. I know that's not a conversation that really too many families have in general, but I can't ride with you on Black people in debt. Now, my family, they're not super strong on financial management, but they did teach me you do actually have to pay your bills and don't go into debt, especially over shoes. That's the dumbest thing. 10 grand, I'm saying 10 grand. I have no idea how much it is, but 10 grand over shoes, over sneakers? Come on.
That's a collection though. That's years.
I don't care. You have medical debt that needs to be paid. Yes.
Dahlia, let's balance it. I don't get it either with the ladies who have a large shoe collection of that caliber either.
Purses.
I don't get that.
Okay. Sure. But we're not gonna put this on Black people. No, I'm sorry. No. I watch way too much. No. It is. I'm just saying I don't think we can chalk it up to race or even like a culture thing. I watch way too much Dave Ramsey for me to sit up here and say that this is just something that Black people are dealing with. I know that's not true.
How do you watch Dave Ramsey? He is so rude.
He is, but also it's a good time. It's entertaining.
I can't listen to nobody that condescending. He gives me the ick. That's a side note.
I watch it too. I'm sorry. I like it. I like the white on white crime. I'm sorry.
Yes.
They're gonna get you.
He eats them up.
I mean, listen. I understand both sides of the table. Like in this situation, I think there's many ways to look at the situation. I'm not gonna jump on any side and say it's 100% that right way, right? Like I can understand. I understood why he might have felt some hesitancy, right? Like you have to think about. You don't really know this person like that just yet, even though you've been in the pods and they drop a prenup to you. Now, if this is the first time you've ever heard that they dropped the prenup, there's something about a prenup that does something straight away, which is it creates a dynamic between two people, right? That there's some value that the person holds that they believe that is quite large on their side, right? So, of course, you know, that can easily throw someone off and make them feel some type of way. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong, just means how you feel. And I'm not mad if you felt some type of way. Do you know what I mean? It's about how you handle how you feel, you know? But I also see as well that, you know, it could be that he was, the way he reacted, it could be that he was pocket watching, right? In the sense of the fact that, you know, you know, it was about his debt necessarily, and nothing else in terms of that respect. I can understand that perspective too. You know, I'm not gonna throw that out the window as well. I also feel like it was an uncomfortable conversation. I think for black folk and money, when you ain't got that kind of money, it's always an uncomfortable conversation, man or woman. It's uncomfortable, right? And then add on the fact that there's a power dynamic between their ages. He's 28, she's 33. That is another issue that's going to be a case of, like, unless he's good and he's set, unless you're good and you're set financially, it can be very difficult also in that space discussing finances as well. In that space as well, because it can be a little bit unnerving, you know what I mean? Like, in that space. Now, of course, I think the wording was a little bit off when they said about obviously paying your debt off. You know what I'm saying? I can understand how someone can look at that some way when he said, obviously, I got some debts, but what he did say was, I'm making payments on it. Remember I'm saying to her, I'm making payments. I've made half of my payments already on those medical surgeries. So, and then she said she would help pay off your debt. You know, whatever helps the team. And I thought that was a really good response by her. I thought that was an amazing response, the way that she was able to say, you know, I'll help you along with that. And I'm saying that because I've helped previous girlfriends with their debts, a couple grands. I'm not getting that back. You know what I'm saying to you? But I don't talk about it like that. You know what I'm saying to you? I don't think it's an issue if a woman wants to help a man, because I think, like I said, so long as he's already started paying on it, not a situation where he's not paid on it, he's defaulting and he's not paid, then that's a different situation. You know what I'm saying to you? But he's been making payments on it, he's been making good on it, then that tells me that you're pretty decent with finances. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, you just need you that extra help to get to that end goal fast. You know what I'm saying to you? And it's funny that this happened. As I was watching it, I was thinking back to my previous situations of previous girlfriends, and when those situations came up, the issue wasn't the finances. The issue was always that they had poor management of finances. So it's like you're missing payments, or you are behind on certain payments because of the fact that you don't manage your money well. That's a different problem. Like, when someone's in debt and they're making payments on something, that's different to the person who's having issues because they are poor managers of finances. Like, I never have money at the end of the month, and you're like, wait, I know how much you make. Where's the rest of the money going to? Now, that's a different conversation. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So now it will be a case of, if at the end we find out that you're not even making the payments that you're meant to make every month on those medical surgeries, but you spending $1,400 on 1 month on trainers, then we have to look at you some way. Then we have to look at your money management. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Then I have to really look at you in a different way. It is always going to cause a little bit of a in somebody when they see your shoe collection, which is quite wealthy over the course of years, and then hear about your debt. That's always going to have a natural tendency for someone to go like, but let's make sure you're making good on those debts that you're making, and you are actually paying off those debts. I think now, if they are going to make it go together, if they are going to go together and they are going to make it work, there needs to be an aggressive spending on that debt. Aggressive, because you want to get that paid off. So there may need to be sacrifice on his end in terms of the shoe collection. We ain't buying no more shoes for the next 2 years, bro, or whatever. Or we buy 1-2 shoes, but you can't buy any more than that for the course of the year, because we need to be aggressive with the spending. We've got a plan we're trying to head for. And very similar for her, if she's going to be a part of that relationship, she's now a part of that debt. I just hope you know that. Like, anybody who's going to join with somebody, this is not a case of, well, you're your thing and my thing. There is no your thing and my thing. It's ours. That debt's now ours. So if you're not willing to take on someone's debt, man or woman, don't bother. You know what I'm saying to you? Don't bother, because it is now our debt. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, you can talk about having separate bank accounts all you want, but you're both in the debt. And that's why I love what she said, that it's no good me being a millionaire and you're in debt. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying to you? So I respect the fact that she never made it separate. She always said, I'm gonna help. I don't mind helping you out. You know what I'm saying to you? I don't mind in that respect. You know, and make sure that it's about the team first. So I think if you are going to be in a relationship with somebody, just know it is a team effort. Something that Dave Ramsey will definitely be harping on, saying about that debt needs to be aggressively attacked. That's something Dave Ramsey will tell you. Attack that. They said, I don't want to hear nothing else. You shouldn't even have, he'll tell you, you shouldn't even have savings. That savings should be in the debt. It should be paid off.
Rice and beans.
Yeah, he's aggressive with it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I don't think anything's wrong. I think it's nice.
She just telling that man, she was just stroking that man ego. She do, you know how, like, you know how the women do down to the gentleman's club where they just tell you what you want to hear. She
Mhm.
was in that dancing world, that whatever world. I know Easton said well trained.
Cheerleader, please
Cheerleader.
don't
Oh,
mischaracterize
that's what I meant.
my
But
baby.
yes, cheerlead. I guess I mixed up the two. People gonna think, okay, yes, cheerleading world. I think Easton was saying well trained. That wasn't the best word, but I think what you meant is she knows how to. She has like PR. She's a PR. She know what she's saying. Soon as she heard that man is addicted to some ibuprofen, clearly has some subpar health insurance. He got all this, if he had it at all, got all these bills. And on top of the fact that he's 28, and I don't know if people remember for the 28-year-olds in the chat and people a little bit older than that, there's a huge gap between 28 and 33. There are a lot of things happen, especially if you're like in school. You know, you go from like being in school or in grad school to being in your profession. The earning is a huge gap between 28 and 33. So it's just kind of a weird age gap right there to kind of deal with. And so I think she's just trying to be nice and kind to the man. But I think she's already going to say no. She already going to say no.
Yeah, I also didn't like his daddy's face. His daddy had the face screwed up in Virginia the whole time. I don't know if he's one of those people that just has a resting mean face or
It
something.
gave Uncle Ruckus to me. It gave Uncle Ruckus.
I don't want to say it, but I definitely felt it. I felt them vibes. He was like, we only bring the YT women up in this house. But I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe he, again, I want to have the benefit of doubt for Pappy. I hope he just has a resting mean face, because the way he was looking at her, it didn't seem welcoming. It didn't seem nice. It seemed a little, the mama was actually a little nicer to her. And when I tell you that sister aggravated the living bejesus out of me, too many questions, too many, deep dives into this woman's womb. I didn't like it. And the last thing that really grinded my gears, because this is probably something that I don't, want to have to deal with. But she asked her, is she the one that asked, would our parents be able to come live with you? Yeah, no. The brother said that. Okay, well, can't they live with you? Because I'm looking across this table. I see multiple siblings. Are they going to live with you?
I was so
that's a fair question. It's not necessary.
No, it ain't fair. It ain't fair, because are you saying, are we going to split the time amongst our siblings? That's a fair question. Don't tell me our parents are going to come live with me. No, are they going to live with us? All of us. Now you can speak French. You can we all you want to, but don't be asking me a very pointed, specific question to my household and then not be willing to take on some of the lion's share, because that also happens in families. One particular family gets stuck with the parents or the elder, and then the other siblings run around skipping their loo scot-free. No, you're going to play a role in this too. We split mom and dad between your house every other week. No, don't ask me that question when we just meet my new wife and soon to be, and you're going to scare her off with all this foolishness in her womb, telling her you're going to send our Uncle Ruckus and our mama over there. No, I think we need to be more equitable in this situation.
I'm not saying that it wasn't the questions about when the kids, that's really invasive. So I didn't like that. But I will say that I think it's an accelerated process of trying to figure out what kind of person this is. So if you like, obviously that's going to be a good red flag and be like, oh, I got to think about this. Like if somebody ever said, oh, I got to think about taking in your parents, that should already let you know, like, is this person, they didn't even pass the first test. So I think that they're just trying to like get this thing out of the way. Like, are they even interested in potentially having my parents or hosting them, housing them in their time of need? I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is the talk that they were having about for Devin, it seems like a common conversation that a lot of young men are having, and maybe is another reason why we're starting to see like marriage rates and different things like that tend to get a little bit more seasoned, because a lot of us guys don't feel particularly ready. And so you start to see like this is a very good dichotomy between somebody who is ready, who might be a little bit more seasoned with Virginia, and a guy who isn't ready financially with Devin, and maybe some of the thoughts that come in through our head is like, maybe we should have gotten married you sooner, or things are never going to be ready. But financially, it's such a big component. You see why people are extending their dating cycles with the people that they are dating.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
keep
I
you
have to
keep
push
mom and
back.
dad, and we'll cook the pig. Okay, you keep mom and dad, and we'll cook the pig.
Yeah, I have to push back because it depends on your parents. Don't just, it's no carte blanche that your mama and your daddy gonna come and live with me or your it depends on the parent. It depends on the nature of the illness. It depends on what's going on. Caregivers get run through the mill left, right, and center. So no, I'm not just gonna sign up saying no, yes. And if that for you is a deal breaker, then so be it. The deal is broken, because I'm not signing up to take care of your cranky mama, somebody who has dementia. I'm sorry. And my grandmother has dementia. Okay. My whole grandmother has dementia and is living with my uncle and his wife and their family. And it can be very, very stressful. So depending on what age you are, depending on when in life that happens, it's something that really has to be considered. And sometimes folks are better in modern day care facilities. There are so many options. They're beautiful options, beautiful gowns, beautiful options. And I want to also leave the option open for us to explore that. Don't just tell me I have to accept your parents as is while they crazy and carrying on. No. I'm sorry.
Sean said he don't want to be regulated.
Nasty.
I don't put it on me
Sean,
either.
you say Sean don't want to be regulated. I don't want to be regulated. Don't regulate us.
No, don't force that on me, because that changed that. I've seen it. And I was also part of taking care of my grandfather at a time when he was like 90. He didn't live with us. Fortunately, he was able to live in his own home and had nurses on site. But my mother and my aunts, they rotated in. It is a lot. And that's not them living in your house. So let's just, before we say, oh, this is what the ancestors did. Yeah, but we in a different day and age. We have to explore all options. And I don't want my life necessarily crippled, because it can definitely cripple your life and you lose it trying to take care of someone else when there are other options.
I definitely hear that, bro. I'm with you on that one. I'm gonna pay someone else.
Yeah,
But
I
look,
thought
the
it
time
was.
has gone, guys. The time has gone.
Sorry.
Yeah, 3 hours has reached, and I'm tired. I need to go and pray. I need to go for a jog. So, Mr. Deacon, please give us a benediction before I fall asleep. I've got a little bit weary. I do apologize, but I think you're absolutely. I think we should continue this conversation maybe later in the week. I'll probably do
That's
another
the
live,
devil
I think it's
attacking
important.
you because you was playing with God's name, playing with Jesus' name. That's what.
Oh,
that's
definitely not. He knows I'm coming to visit him tonight.
That-
We're gonna be on a prayer walk, baby.
Yeah, visit him. Please go on that prayer walk, please.
We're gonna nail some things to the cross tonight. I'll tell you that for sure. Galatians 5 verse 23 to 25. We're gonna nail some things to the cross. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna be in prayer for y'all. Mr. Deacon, could you give us a benediction, please?
I'm going to try, because as I'm fully caught up, but, excited about the season progressing, and let's see. So I think, the first lesson we learned that things are not always what they appear to be. So, we're going to give some of these folks the benefit of the doubt. And, what may look like somebody stalking you on Instagram may just be your insecurities creeping up or your self-doubt creeping up. Or, sometimes we got a little bit of self-sabotage. So if that's you, we got to kill those voices and see the lady. We got to see the lady and continue to see the lady to work out those things. We also have some couples, we want to be unequally yoked. We want to be equally yoked. I'm sorry. Definite big clarification. We want to be equally yoked, right? So when it comes to, I'm gonna mess these people's names up, but when it comes to Ben and whoever he's with, please don't, don't try to sign up for something that in the beginning was not where it should be. All right, the leopard will eat your face. There are dangerous animals, and when you get that warning, it's for a reason. So don't think you're going to be the leopard tamer, because the leopard will do what the leopard does, as it should. And also when it comes to Dave and Lauren, I think I got their names right. If a man gets to checking your facts, if a man wants to put you on trial for your past situations, it's a wrap. Wrap it up, Buttercup. It's time to go. Don't get to defending. Those are signs. The signs are there. He don't want you. And don't let him take you down a windy road that's leading to nowhere. just keep it moving and keep it pushing. You know, last but least, we got, you know, our favorite couple, you know, Devin and Virginia. You know, be ginger with your words. And I think Virginia showed us that, you know, being ginger with her words and being open and willing to listen and hear and being receptive to your person. Devin, I'm not quite sure, you know, where he's going to land. So the verdict's not quite out yet. But brother, if I were you, sign them papers, brother. Sign them, because you got a good woman right there. So don't mess it up. You know, if you got a good thing, don't mess it up. Back to you, Coach.
Thank you very much, Sean. Listen, it's been a great conversation. We're going to be back here obviously next week. Hopefully we're back at our normal time, 5 p.m. So it's a little bit earlier for you guys as well. But yeah, no, great live today. I think we definitely had a good chat, and I'm definitely going to have to break down a lot of things in terms of the live down, because I know a lot of people want to watch the live in a bit smaller chunks. So you guys really had some great conversations and different points of view, and you came correct with your POVs. So a good learning perspective. Just want to shout out two more people of Forever Fancy and Shanna Bassett as well, who joined as a membership as well. Thank you very much again. Once more, I just want to just celebrate those who sent their gifts as well. Be Love, High Vibe, Leia as well. We appreciate you as well for sending out the gifted memberships to other people so they can also be a part of this conversation, and great vibes as well. We're back live again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Joint live on LBB and LBB Coaching. We're talking about communication between men and women. Once more, I'm on my 4th episode of the series, talking about men and women and the different communicational styles. It's been really, really good actually. So thank you for those of you who are turning up. Please keep turning up as well. These are the kind of content I want to keep making to help folks as well. You know, I helped a guy in a taxi today. He was having problems with his mister. I told him to listen to his wife. That's what he's got to do. Just sit there and listen and validate her. He said that the world had become a new place for him. Hey, listen, sometimes men don't know, you know what I mean? So education is helping me, it's helping others as well. So I want you guys to turn up, share it with somebody as well, take the notes, whatever you want to take with it, and use it to your advantage as well. And then at 10 o'clock tomorrow, 5 p.m. EST, we're live on TikTok. I'm probably going to be live for about 4 hours, I can't even lie to you, because the first 2 I'm probably going to end up coaching, because last week I didn't realize how long it was going to go on for. So I do apologize. It was on there and it ended up into a coaching session and I didn't realize. So I'll probably end up I'll give myself a bit more time. But we start at 5 p.m. EST. We're continuing that conversation from YouTube to TikTok. We'll have a panel as well on there as well, so people can have their say. I'll probably have to check the timing for people as well, because people were talking for a good hour. People got things they want to talk about. It's a safe space, but people want to talk. So you know, they got a lot of things to share in their hearts and stuff. But anyway, listen, look, we're gonna love you and leave you tonight. And again, check us on Thursday for Married at First Sight. Again, Saturday's Ready to Love. Myself, Elsie, will be live again on Sunday, 3 p.m. EST. And so we're talking about Married at First Sight, Australia again. So a lot of things to discuss this week. I might do a special live in the week, depends. There's a video that's flying around about a woman who said she's not attracted to her husband and changed it. So I think we should talk about it, because I'm sick and tired of the ladies lying to us and telling us that they can just grow an attraction. Meanwhile, they're cussing us out in the TikToks, saying how ugly the man is. Anyway, listen. Let me love you guys and leave you. It's been amazing. It's been fun. It's been entertaining. Okay, all right, and we're gonna leave you to it. Okay, all right. We have to let you guys know we don't want peace.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
Little black book. You know what time it is.